Quality. Or was his greatest accomplishment providing the NFL with a much-needed villain?
If there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players. We could get the greatest coaches. The great games we've played in. The flame that would burn brightest here is the will to win. Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You were magnificent.
Raider Nation, what is going on? I'm Hardcore Raider. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Want to talk about a few things going on here in the Raider Nation. Usually I don't like doing videos like this, so I'm going to give you a pre-warning. Hold your ears, or you might want to click off this video because I'm going to say some stuff going to make some people mad. But, I do have an opinion. I'm always going to try to be honest. And, I want to talk about some things going on right now. Got some people in the chat. Numbers, what up? How you doing, brother? Dominic 5, what up? Hopefully you guys are doing good. Happy New Year. You guys subscribe. We're going to give away this jersey. Going to give details on it next week. Devontae Adams jersey. It's pretty sick. But, I'm sure everybody has seen it. I mean, I could post some stuff on it or whatever, but I'm sure everybody's seen kind of some stuff that David Carr was saying, and just some, I got some thoughts on, all the stuff that's going down, Billy J, dude, what up? How you guys doing? So first of all, let me just say, dude, like, I try not to be like, oh, I've done this and other people have done that. I try my best, like in my life, to not be like one of those guys. Cause I feel like in life, we just focus on moving forward. A lot of that was when I was in the Army and how it like helped me mentally. Like you always focus on the mission and the task at hand moving forward. You don't worry about what other people are doing and all this other nonsense. So I've tried to like kind of take that. Alice Ghost, what up? Try to take, some of that to heart, in my own life and my own perspective on things. But as I said before in one of my previous videos, I always try to look at like, all sides of the coin and try to find the truth somewhere in the middle. But at the same time, like I'm always going to be real and be honest. And some people just don't like that, we've really gotten to a point in society where one person can like post a video or put something on Twitter or whatever, and people think it's like actual truth. It can be an opinion. And if that opinion gets enough people to believe that opinion, then it becomes truth. And this goes in everything way beyond just football. Okay. All throughout the spectrums of life. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing videos when the virus happened. So it's pretty frustrating to me that us as a team, meaning all of us as society, no matter what the subject might be, that someone can have an opinion. And if that opinion gets enough views, likes, or whatever, or enough people bought in on some, opinionated, opinion that doesn't have any actual facts, then everybody else starts believing it. And then, so we live in this society where people are constantly being brainwashed, and it blows my mind. It does. It fires me up. And it blows my mind because I think us as human beings, we should all be analytical thinkers, whether someone's pro Carr, against Carr, whatever it might be. I believe in freedom of speech. Absolutely, I do. But I also believe in like weighing out the facts and weighing out all the data to see like, if there's any truth in something. So Anthony, dude, what up? Hopefully you're doing good. Carr's last stand. Yeah, no, this is like, I'm going to get into it here, but like, one person goes on, YouTube or whatever, and they're like, oh, the playbook was different. And like, and like literally this person like started when the virus happened, and all of his videos are just clickbait. This is kind of a clickbaity title, but like all of his data is like based off of assumptions and not actual facts. And just, it's like Clickbait Central. The name of the channel should really be Clickbait Central because, and I know people watch him and like him, and that's fine, whatever. But there's really two channels that do it a lot. And it does bug me, guys. It does, because look at what this dude is making off of Raider Nation. Everybody thinks this guy is great, and he's making like anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 off of YouTube, right? And this fool ain't wearing no Raider gear. Like this fool's supposed to be a Raider fan, dude. Come on, guys. Every single one of his videos is clickbait. And there's like, it's all assumptions. It's all assumptions based off of some theory that, someone has, and other people watch it and then they think it's facts. Okay. I'm not saying even necessarily he's wrong, right or wrong. I'm just saying the motive behind it pisses me off because I'm a Raider fan first. It's always going to be about the shield. Always. And Al Davis, dude, like people forget shit, man. I'll tell you guys three things in my life, three pivotal points in my life that was like really big as being a Raiders fan. One, Bo Jackson being hurt. Okay. That one messed me up really bad. That was my hero, dude. Two would have to be John Gruden getting traded to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love John Gruden. I wanted him to be a Raider for life. He could have, I believe he could have won us at least one Super Bowl. If the Tuck game didn't happen, shoot. I mean, I think we get 2-3 Super Bowls out of that thing. But the Gruden situation, the first go around, really messed me up, right? But my loyalty was always to the Shield. When we played Gruden in the Super Bowl, it messed me up. That's why I shared that with you guys. And again, dude, I've done Carr videos. We dedicated a whole show to dedicate to Derek Carr to give him respect and honor. You guys see any other Raider YouTubers out there doing that? And it's not because I'm a Kardashian or whatever. I wanted to give him props for the good things that he did. You got guys that got 20, 30, 40,000 subs, and they ain't giving Carr no respect. It's all clickbait fucking opinions on bullshit, guys. Absolute fucking bullshit. Oh, the playbook was different. And the all 22 hadn't even been dropped. Go check out Sanjay's video. He breaks it down. But everybody wants to look at this and like, oh, now it's actual facts because he did a clickbait video. And, because he has so many watchers or whatever, then we should all believe that the playbook was different. Dude, it blows my mind. The dumbing of society blows my fucking mind because we'll listen to one person's opinion and don't even believe me. Do your own fact check. Have your own opinion. But fuck me, man. At some point, let's be real and let's call a spade a spade. So I get tired of people that do this shit, okay? Because it's supposed to be about the Raiders, the Raider Nation, and in my opinion, it's supposed to be about unity and family. And some of these fools are just doing it to make money. That's why they only started a channel a year ago. I don't give a fuck how many subscribers they have and how great people fucking think some of these guys are. I stopped doing videos when I seen this fucking horse shit fucking, oh, what's Billy Joe, Bob, and fucking Sue doing? Who gives a fuck what those fucking, it's all drama. Who fucking cares, man? You really fucking care? I care about the fucking Raiders and I care about winning. That's what I care about. I don't care about who's cheating on who, the fucking, all this shit, man. It's like turned into fucking Days of Our Lives, dude, some soap opera. And it does fire me up. So, all right, I'm going to give my opinion on this Derek Carr shit, okay? Before I do, let's talk about something positive. I'm going to share a screen here. Give me a second. All right, so I did a last video on Josh Jacobs. I'm probably going to have to go back and edit it. But, I wanted to break this down real quick here with Josh Jacobs because the information that I had was not – trying to pull it up here. The information I had was not up to date with the stats that Josh Jacobs had. And then we'll get into this other shit. Hopefully it calms me down a little bit. All right, single season rushing record. All right, let's see if it's up now. Okay. So Josh Jacobs, they didn't have it updated when I did that video of Josh Jacobs, the best running back in the NFL. And he's at 1608 and Marcus Allen's at 1759. So Josh Jacobs needs 152 yards to break Marcus Allen's rushing record. I thought it was 221, but that's because they didn't have the 69 yards added into this total when I looked it up right after the game. So I apologize for that. So that was my bad, but there's potential. I mean, it's probably unlikely Jacobs going to get 151 yards, but that would be awesome if Josh Jacobs broke that record. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go back on and I will get in your guys' chats. And if any of you guys want to go live and you want to give your opinion, I'll let you guys have a voice. Even if you completely fucking disagree with me, I will let you voice your opinion if you're respectful and you don't get personal. And this is why I try not to get personal, dude, even though like I am to some degree, but like some of this really fires me up and this is why I say like, it's supposed to be like one nation, Raider Nation. And this is the other reason why I say like, we don't get personal. Because now we're at a point in Raider Nation where this thing with the Carr situation is going to turn toxic. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, whether you're a newer fan, 5 years, 10 years, dude, I've been a fan 4 years, right? I was born into this shit. I bleed silver and black. And we've all been through a lot. Anybody that's been a fan more than 5 years or 10 years, we've been through a lot together. Okay. But each one of you, whether you support Carr, whether you became a fan because of Derek Carr or whatever, you're going to have to make a decision. If like, it's going to come down to this, and I hate to split hairs, but it's just the reality. Are you a Raider fan or are you a Derek Carr fan? And there's going to be no in between. You can be a Raider fan and support Derek Carr when he goes to another team. That's fine, whatever. But at some point, some people in the Raider Nation are going to have to decide where their loyalty reigns. Is it for the silver and black, or is it for one individual person? Now, before I get into this, I'm going to say I don't agree with how the Raiders handled it. However, the flip side of that is, if that was the direction they were going and they had to pull off the Band-Aid, there's no easy way that this situation was ever going to end. No easy way. Derek Carr's been with us for 9 years. So, at one point, I don't agree with how they handled it. At another point, nothing good there was no good way to end it with Derek Carr if they were ready to move on. Like, that's just the facts. So it makes it tougher now because, like Raiders kind of did some shady shit, with Derek Carr. But don't get it twisted, man. The flip side of this is Carr got paid. Carr got paid. And I'm going to get into it. I did a video about it. I'm not going to break down the whole thing. Go watch the video where I did a fair analysis of Derek Carr and did he ever earn his contract starting in 2017. And I broke it down with a fair analysis. I wasn't pro Carr. I wasn't against Carr. Even though I've been ready to move on from Carr, I did a fair analysis of looking at both sides of the fence. Okay. So check out that video because I'm not going to go down and break down everything again. I already fucking did it. All right. With that being said, David Carr going on NFL Network and all this. All right. I'll paraphrase some of the stuff he said. Don't quote me on it. I'd pull it up here, but I'll probably get flagged. So I'm not going to do that. But David Carr said, Derek Carr never complained and, did, everything for this organization. It's dysfunctional and he wants to go to a team that has like a good coach and a good owner. Now, I'll agree. Okay. To be fair, our franchise has been extremely dysfunctional. The move from Oakland to Vegas was the third thing that really hurt me, right? The first one was Bo Jackson. The second one was John Gruden. The third one was the move from Oakland to Vegas. And that shit was tough. It was tough on Raider Nation. There was so much infighting, dude. Like, this Carr situation can compare to all those situations, and things haven't been nearly as toxic until the Carr situation and moving on from Derek Carr. And it's probably going to get worse. The clickbait subtitles and the drama and the soap opera is probably just going to escalate, right? So, but David Carr said, essentially Derek Carr gave his all to this organization. Now, I'll agree with that. He did give his all. And I respect Derek Carr and everything he did. Most guys would have gave up between all the head coaches, all the blunders from the draft picks to terrible defense. I know all that stuff. That is facts. Okay. And I will admit that. I will call those facts. Okay. Anybody that dude, why do you guys think Khalil Mack didn't want to be a Raider anymore? Amari Cooper giving up on his routes and shit before he traded him. They were tired of it, man. And I would be too. All the drama in Oakland, dude, I would call up to 95.7 the game. Okay. Back in the day in the Bay that would cover the Raiders, and they weren't covering them. And anything they said was all negative. The media was all negative on the Raiders. It was such a toxic environment. Anybody else besides maybe Derek Carr and the kind of character he has would have quit on this team. And you really couldn't blame him. Who wants to be in a toxic environment like that? I mean, people also forget, okay, a lot of context things of what actually happened. John Gruden, Mike Mayock said there was a lot of leaks in this building around draft time and shit like that. You guys recall that shit? That's facts. He said there's a lot of leaks in this building and we're trying to fix it. I believe, now this is an opinion, I believe John Gruden and Mayock were putting out false narratives, whether it was like a trade Derek Carr or, the draft or whatever, to see who in the building was giving away information that they shouldn't be giving away. Because the media and everybody knew more shit than our organization. Dude, we would go to play a football game, guys, and every Saturday or every Sunday, right before the game happened, some bombshell crazy article would drop right before the Raiders played. Literally. Every week. You think that's happened, Chance, or is that by design? That's by design. There is no fucking way that shit doesn't drop by paid media, whether it was say from another team, the NFL, fucking the Bay Area and their fucking media shills or whatever the fuck. They were dropping bombshell articles right before the Raiders would play. Now the Raiders trying to focus on a game. Now they got to think about all this drama. Oh, did you hear about this? Sally's cheating on Joe and all this other shit. And they can't even focus on the fucking game. How are you going to win football teams when the organization is having this much animosity and leaks? Like, it's like your ship is sinking and there's so many holes in the boat. No matter how fast you try to plug them, you're still fucking sinking. So a lot of people, I don't know who it is, if it was Oakland or whatever, because we were leaving the mayor or whatnot. All I know is there was a lot of shit against this team that wanted us to fail and probably still wants us to fail. Absolutely. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Please subscribe. Let's get on this David Carr, Derek Carr thing, right? David Carr is like a promotion, right? Like he's like a marketing. He's the biggest marketer for Derek Carr. Do you guys remember when Derek Carr was on our team years ago? And like I think it was his first or second year, and maybe his third year. But I remember Derek was like, "Hey, bring on my brother, as like a quarterback's coach." They wanted to do like a team thing where David Carr could be with Derek to try to help Derek. Like anybody that's ever got family, you're always going to stick up for your brothers and stuff, even if you have like animosity at times and whatnot. So of course, David is going to stick up for his brother no matter what, guys. So David is going to market for his younger brother that he's the best and he's great and all this stuff, and Derek Carr's been good to average, mediocre at times, but not great. Maybe little glimpses of greatness, but not great. And I proved it in my Did Derek Carr Ever Earn His Contract video. That's also why I said, can Raiders win with an average quarterback? Because if you have the weapons that we have, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, we can win with an average quarterback. Okay. Now, getting into like where my main take is on all this stuff. Okay. I'm going to say this. A lot of people won't agree with this. I don't care what NFL team you are. If you haven't, one, drafted well, or two, have a lot of pieces in place on your team, like say our defense is terrible. Dude, there's no way you can pay a quarterback, top quarterback money without it having a cause and effect. There's just no way. If you are going to pay your quarterback top quarterback money, okay, it's going to take away from the money that you can spend on other stuff. And everybody's like, oh, well, the NFL and the Raiders, everybody has an endless bank account or whatever. That's horseshit. I don't buy that for a fucking minute, dude. The reason why a lot of teams do well are the ones that have a lower pay, meaning they're paying their quarterback lower money, and they can spend that money in free agency to get the talent they need. And because we flopped on so many drafts, there's so many holes still on this team. Again, going back to Reggie McKenzie before Gruden, going back to John Gruden, going back to even Al Davis, this shit show has been going on for a long fucking time. So did Derek Carr get a fair shake through all this shit? Probably not. But let's not forget, guys, Derek Carr was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. The highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So my take on all this shit, I'm going to pull it up here. My take on all this shit is, dude, like, if you aren't just like one piece away from like, winning, let me blow this up a little bit. If you aren't like one, a couple pieces away from winning a championship, dude, it doesn't matter. Like if you're going to pay your quarterback that kind of money, it's going to affect you guys. It's going to affect you. Like where the Raiders are at right now. I looked at it starting in week 4. I literally looked at it starting in week 4. Okay, guys, where I was looking at like, what do the Raiders have? What do the Raiders need to win? And are we going to go through a rebuild? And nobody else was doing that, guys. Nobody else was looking at the roster, taking off my fan hat, putting on my general manager hat, and seeing what the fuck this team has to do to win. Because I knew the defense wasn't good, and I knew we need a lot of pieces. If you pay your quarterback 30, 35 mil, and then up to like, the next year would be like 44 mil, dude, if he made 20 mil, that's at least one, if not two stud players on our team. 1 to 2 players, that difference in just pay. You pay a quarterback 50 mil, like the Chiefs are paying Mahomes, and I know Mahomes is a super stud, but eventually those contracts catch up with a team. It always happens, guys, no matter what team it is, no matter who your favorite player is. I guarantee you can book this fucking audio right now. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, that contract is going to catch up with them in 2 to 3 years, unless they draft immaculately. And I mean immaculately. They aren't going to be able to keep Kelsey. They aren't going to be able to keep Chris Jones. They just won't. They're paying their quarterback a whole lot of money. And is he elite and great? Absolutely, yes. But it's going to catch up with them. It does to every team. Every team. And if you just want to go out, if you have a short window, or depending on who, like how the contracts line up, when they're expire, when you have to re-sign them, whether they were drafted or if it's a like 1, 2, 3 year deal or whatever it might be, eventually those intersect and you're not going to have enough money to pay everybody. And the Raiders have too many holes on our team to pay a quarterback $35 to $45 million and still have the money we need for at least one offensive lineman, at least 1 to 2 defensive linemen. Chandler Jones has been terrible. We won't even get into that. We need a linebacker that can cover. We need 1 to 2, cornerbacks, and we need a safety. You can't get all that in the draft. You won't hit on all those in the draft. And no matter how good a player is or their potential to be, look at Crosby, look at Renfro. They took 2 to 3 years to come on the scene. They're not even guys, and those were later round picks. But I'm saying most guys, like, even if they're higher draft picks, they're not like NFL ready day one. It takes time. It takes at least 2 years to develop, to come on the scene and then be a super stud. But then again, you're going to be dealt a situation where you got to pay those guys after the rookie contract expires. So my point is that whether it's Derek Carr or any quarterback, it doesn't matter, guys. 35 to 40 mil, 45 mil, we won't have the money to get the other talent we need on this team. The best thing for the Raiders is try to find a quarterback, 20, 25 mil. If it was Jared Stidham, maybe 15 mil or something, sign him to a 2-3 year deal as a bridge quarterback, 10, 15 mil, something like that, and use the other money for the talent we need on the team. So as a general manager, a business perspective, we had to cut ties with Derek Carr unless he played elite and balled the fuck out. And he's not worth the money that we were going to pay him. He's just not. I broke it down in my video, and I love Derek Carr. And I know people are going to be upset because I'm being real. People don't like honesty. You'd rather me do some clickbait fucking opinion bullshit, and you guys would rather see that than fucking see actual facts. Okay? Whatever. It's whatever at this fucking point. So here's Derek Carr's contract. If you add it up, it's fucking pop-up blockers, guys. Hold on. If you add it up, it comes out to 135 mil, okay? The total money that Derek Carr has made off the Raiders. If you take out what he made before his contract extension in 2017, okay? If you take that out, it would be about 130 mil down here, okay? So, looking at if you look at this from an analytical fucking standpoint instead of our fandom, right? Of what's best for the team, 2017, right? 2016, Carr balled out, got hurt, okay? 2017, he essentially held out, but 2017 started making about 25 mil, 25.2 mil. And then 2018, 22.5 mil. 2019, 20 mil. 2020, 19 mil. 2021, 19.6. And I know he got an extra 5 million or whatever for this contract extension. And yeah, maybe the Raiders did him a little dirty. But you know what? Carr had enough to produce. Like, again, to go back to like my initial point, dude, it wasn't like Carr got paid mediocre money. Carr did not get paid mediocre money, guys. He was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. The highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I can't fucking say it enough because people, you need to hear it. The highest paid quarterback in the NFL until Matthew Stafford, like a week later or whatever, passed him up. Whatever, it doesn't matter. When I broke it down, did Carr earn his contract? I was fair. I was honest. But the other flip side to all that shit is that, look, man, like Derek Carr was in the 10 to 12 to like sometimes 15 range. Very seldomly was he like top 3. We paid a guy top quarterback money for mediocre play or above average play. And that's not good enough, guys. From a business standpoint, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of deficiencies and holes and things that can be blamed on from coaching and all this other shit. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. If we like take off our fan hat, put our general manager hat on, it wasn't good enough. And I'm sorry. I know some people aren't going to want to hear this, but the best thing for the Raiders moving forward is to not pay a quarterback that kind of money. It's just not. We need so much help on this defense, and for this team to succeed, it had to be done. And I saw it like week 4. I was in a group chat fucking talking about it. And other people thought I'm fucking crazy and I'm fucking stupid. Oh, well, quarterback's the percentage of blah. Dude, I don't give a fuck, man. None of that matters to me. I don't care what average quarterbacks are making or whatever, dude. I care what we got to pay out for mediocrity or an average or above average fucking play. If we paid him top quarterback money, he should be playing like fucking Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. We paid him top quarterback money, and he sucked in 2017. He sucked in 2018. And we can find all these excuses we want, but it wasn't good enough. And he got a contract extension after he balled out in 2021, and he sucked in 2022. He literally gets contract extensions and then sucks the next year. And David Carr wants to go on to attack fucking pretty much Raider Nation on all this Twitter fucking garbage and shit and act like his brother wasn't the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's made $130 million, actually $135 million from the Raiders for average to above average play. And that's not good enough. He should have been top five, actually top three. As much money as he made should be top three. And it wasn't there. It was not there. And I know from coaching to defense and all this other shit, but rally back to the point, when you pay your quarterback that kind of money, you're not going to have the money to sign Khalil Mack. Derek Carr got the contract in 2017. He said it was a team-friendly deal. It wasn't. Let's be real. How is getting paid the top quarterback money in the NFL friendly to the fucking Raiders? I don't see a friendly deal in this, guys, for average to above average play. I don't. So how is someone going to say he gave us a team-friendly deal? It fucked us from signing Mack. Let's be real. Let's be real. The contract with Derek Carr fucked us from signing Khalil Mack. But because people don't want to be real, it's too intense. It's not fluffy enough for people. So they don't want to call a fucking spade a spade. And I'll probably lose subscribers for this video. Whatever. I've lost them before for being honest about shit. Derek Carr did not give us a team-friendly deal. Derek Carr in 2021 did not give us a team-friendly deal. Team-friendly would have been 25 mil. And I've said this for 3 years now with Derek Carr. He should take a pay cut to stay a Raider. Because if he takes a pay cut, then we can get the other talent we need on the team to produce more and get the wins, and we can win with Derek Carr. Because I still believe, and after all this shit, we could win with Derek Carr. But we need more talent on the team. We can't get that talent paying them this kind of money. Cause and effect. I don't care what percentage of Patrick Mahomes make, and this guy, dude, Derek Carr ain't no fucking Patrick Mahomes. How are you going to compare Derek Carr to a percentage of elite quarterbacks? He ain't Lamar Jackson. We know that. He ain't Josh Allen. We know that. I did a fair breakdown in my video. I wasn't fired up. I'm fired up now because I'm passionate about this team. The fire that burns brightest in my soul is like the fucking Al Davis torch. And I do believe the greatness of the Raiders is in the future. It sucks that shit had to end this way with Derek Carr. It does. I wish the divorce or whatever could have been a little bit better than this. But at the end of the day, guys, like, Derek Carr didn't earn his first contract. He had an opportunity to go out and ball out and prove that he can be an elite or top or great quarterback. And he didn't. And we can find all the excuses we want in the world, but it just wasn't good enough at the end of the day. It wasn't. And anybody that's looking at this and twist it to their narrative agenda with their opinions, okay, and then people are going to say it's facts, like, oh, well, you know, the playbook was changed and all this shit, dude. Come on, man. Now we'll say Hunter Renfrow, Waller was hurt majority of the season. That hurt Carr and our team. Absolutely. So I'll be fair. I'll give that like a good merit for a lack of production. And I do feel that Darren Waller just played harder for Jarrett Stidham than I think Darren Waller was playing for Derek Carr. That's a hot take. You want me to repeat it? Darren Waller was playing harder for Jarrett Stidham in this last game than Darren Waller was playing for Derek Carr. I seen it. And I've watched Darren Waller's body language, and I didn't buy the whole, like, well, Darren Waller, Derek Carr beef a couple years ago or last year or whatever it was. But looking into it, and with his turf toe and some of his lyrics that he dropped in that song, if you guys listen to it closely, he's taking shots at Derek Carr. Another hot take. He's taking shots at Derek Carr through his music. There's no way some of the shit that Darren Waller said that he's not. Like, he's literally not. People that do music, they like get out, like, instead of them like addressing something head on, they'll do it through their songs. You go back to Tupac, you know, a lot of guys lyrically, like, that's how they like communicate. Okay. Not saying it's a great song or anything like that. I'm just saying like the facts. And I saw body language from Darren Waller this year where I felt like he was like not trying very hard for Derek Carr. And that concerned me because that's where I was like, well, does Darren Waller not want to be a Raider? If he doesn't want to be a Raider, then that's completely different than if he's just hurt or whatever. If he's just hurt, then yeah, we stick it out, wait till he comes back. But if he's got beef with Derek Carr and he's not wanting to play for him, and let's be honest, dude, like this whole situation with Derek Carr, him being, and I've said it for years, this as well, he's always about a half second late on his throws. About a point, if you guys time it, of when throws are thrown and they're like behind guys or over guys or under guys, okay, it's always like a half second too late. His timing is like literally 0.25 to 0.5 seconds too late. And it's been that way for years. I don't know why. We've seen great play at times, but we've also seen times where like Darren Waller's open or Derek Carr could throw a dime and it's just not there. Darren Waller, some of these guys getting killed because these passes aren't good enough. They're not. And we paid them top quarterback money. So again, I know this is going to get people fired up. I know people aren't going to agree with me. I get it, man. I loved Derek Carr. I've done like shows like dedicating to Derek Carr to give him honor and respect. So I want to go on here and bash him. But at some point, dude, we got to be real, guys. We got to be real. I'm tired of this fake ass shit. I am, especially all this infighting and dumbass shit in Raider Nation, man. At some point, whether someone's a Carr supporter or not, man, you got to make your decision on your own. And has Mark Davis been a great owner? No, man, I'll agree with that as well. So, you know, we've had to overpay guys at times to come to our team because people don't want to come play for the Raiders. And this might hurt us moving forward where other players may not want to come play for us. But, you know, let's not get it twisted, man. The whole like, well, Davante Adams came here for Derek Carr. Yeah, probably to some degree. But, dude, these guys play for money. These guys play for money. And anybody that has that take, where's there, like when you see the picture of Davante Adams when he was a kid, right? Where's Derek Carr in that picture, right? Davante Adams, what was he, like 9, 10, 13 or something? I don't see Derek Carr in that picture. When Davante Adams wearing Raider gear, you see Derek Carr in that picture? Davante Adams, his mom is like, I believe it's his mom is like friends or aunt or something is like friends with Tim Brown's wife. Where's Derek Carr in that picture? You know? So let's not get it twisted, man. Davante Adams grew up a Raider long before he was friends with Derek Carr. Davante Adams just said that he loves the Raiders and he wanted to play for his childhood team. Derek Carr is part of that equation, but not the only part of the equation, okay? Not the only part of the equation. I saw players like fired up, supporting Jared Stidham, and I saw this team ball out. I saw this team produce more yards. You have to go all the way back to Derek Carr in 2021 against the Cowboys about a year and a half prior to see a game like this with Derek Carr. And I know like at least half of the season we didn't have Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. So, you know, I'll definitely take that into consideration. But I'm just saying, like, dude, this guy just came on and like we seen production that like we hadn't seen in the past. And I know some people are probably wanting the Raiders to fail or Jared Stidham to fail or whatever. Dude, I'm always gonna be a Raider fan first. It sucks, dude. My heart breaks for Derek Carr. I meant that sincere video, my farewell video to Derek Carr. I do. Like, you know, anybody would have quit on this team through all this adversity. I truly believe that. That's facts, guys. Most guys would have quit. I'm surprised Derek Carr stuck around as long as he did. But let's not get it twisted, man. I mean, the Raiders also helped him out too. As dysfunctional and fucked up of a franchise this is, we gave him a lot of money to produce. A lot of money. Okay? Had Derek Carr taken a real team-friendly deal and a pay cut, maybe we could have kept Mack. Maybe we could have kept Khalil Mack. We did not have the money to pay Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. Not at those kind of numbers, guys. And people just don't want to be honest, dude. People like always twist stuff to their own narrative and agenda and not calling it actually like as it is. That's just the facts, guys. You pay your quarterback top quarterback money, you're not going to have that much money left over to pay the rest of your team. And that's just it. So where the Raiders are and what they need to do moving forward, they need a quarterback at an actual cheap friendly deal so we can get the talent on this team to win. And I don't want Tom Brady. Maybe it happens. I could see it happening. I'll drop a video on that at a later point in time. I don't even want to fucking talk about that, dude. But, you know, even if Lamar Jackson, okay, people are like, oh, I want Lamar Jackson. Oh, I want Aaron Rodgers. Okay, awesome. Good for you guys, man. Good for you. You want to pay a quarterback $50 million a year, 40, 50 mil, and we can't even, like, we don't even have the talent we need on the defense, and you think that we're going to be able to win games? Nah. Dude, it would be a bad decision to get any of those quarterbacks. Dude, it could be Patrick Mahomes. People think I'm crazy on this. It could be Patrick Mahomes. I don't want Patrick Mahomes with that kind of money. It's all too much money because we have too many holes on this team. We can't fill that many holes if you're paying that kind of money to your quarterback. You just can't. It's a cause and effect. Cause and effect. And it catches up to every team. I don't care who they are. So I looked at it week 4. I knew the shitstorm was coming. Maybe I should have done a video on it to warn you guys. I've talked about it a little bit in a more friendlier way. I said there's a lot of contracts coming due. I don't know how we're going to sign all these guys, but I knew it was like this, guys. Like one of 3 things were going to happen, okay, with the general management. Either one, we keep Derek Carr and we draft a quarterback in this draft in like the 2nd, 3rd round or 4th round or a later round, because we're probably going to have to use the 1st round to get like a defensive guy. Okay, that was like option number 1, okay? Option number 2, you get rid of Derek Carr, okay? You free up the cap space, you free up the money, and then use that money to go get defense, okay? And then part of that, so like get rid of Derek Carr, part of that would be either then you get a bridge quarterback, that's not a lot of money, maybe find someone 20, 25 mil, get a quarterback like that and possibly still draft a quarterback. Or you completely do away with the bridge QB thing and you just draft a quarterback and hope it works out. But we got to remember the Super Bowl's in Vegas next year. We have some guys on 3-year contracts and we're almost done with year one of a 3-year contract. Devontae Adams, I think after the 3rd year, we got to pay him like 40 mil a year or something crazy like that. So we got a short window. We got a 2-year window to try to win a Super Bowl with some of these guys under the current contracts they have. That means we got to figure out the best situation for this franchise to get the talent on this team and to get a quarterback that isn't going to fucking kill us. And Derek Carr's contract, I think it was like 35 mil. Don't quote me on 35, 40 mil or something we'd have left over. If we would have kept Derek Carr, dude, you guys got to think what some of these guys are making. That's 2 to 3 players. You could sign 2 to 3 players under that contract. And let's be honest, does anybody in here, do you think we're 2 to 3 players away from having a really successful team to go on a Super Bowl run? Are we 2 to 3 players away on this team from having like a super stud team to go to the Super Bowl? I'm going to say, fuck no. Anybody that thinks we're 2 to 3 players away, I don't know what you're smoking, but you got to lay off that shit. Cause dude, you're on cloud fucking 9 and you're not even like using your brain and thinking. Dude, we're like 5, 6 to like 10 pieces away on this team. There's so many holes on this team, dude. We're a sinking ship and we got a short window to do this shit right. So if you look at it from that standpoint, whether it's Derek Carr or another contract, say you got Aaron Rodgers. Say someone wants Aaron Rodgers. He's a lot better quarterback, right? But Aaron Rodgers under that contract, that ain't going to work either because we still need those 8 to 10 pieces on our team. We're not 2 to 3 pieces away. So it just won't work out. If you take your fan hat off, your loyalty to Derek Carr, whatever, you put your general manager hat on and you start looking at the roster like I did, you're like, you see what I saw. You'll see what I saw. And what I saw was a big fucking shitstorm coming. And I said, fuck, if Raiders don't do good this year and win this year, we're fucked. We might go through a full fucking rebuild. I saw this shit literally before halfway through the season. So it fires me up. I'm passionate about this team. I love the Raiders. I love Raider Nation. I bleed silver and black. But I'm always going to try to be honest with people, man. Absolutely. And people get it twisted. People are like, well, I was talking about Jarrett Stidham. Like, is he a better quarterback than Derek Carr? Dude, I literally said in the video, there's not enough tape on Jarrett Stidham, or there's no tape on Jarrett Stidham. So, I'm stating a fact, right? There's no tape on Jarrett Stidham. So, I understand that teams can't prepare, against Jarrett Stidham like they could with Derek Carr. I literally said that in the video, and people will still say, well, there's no tape on Jarrett Stidham. Well, no fucking shit, Sherlock Holmes. I literally fucking said that. I literally said that in my video. And I said it specifically and purposefully, and people still get it twisted like I didn't fucking say that. So if you watch my videos, dude, I try my best to always be fair and honest. And I could say a fact, right? And people will still be like, oh, well, that's because of this. Well, no shit. I fucking said it. So before you come at me or do some dumbass fucking shit, listen to what the fuck I'm saying, all right? And that's all I got to say, dude. So we'll see how this shit goes down. We'll see what David Carr, marketing for Derek, and you can't blame him. Fuck, man. I mean, they've made They've milked 135 mil from the Raiders, dude. They're going to go to another team and milk another fucking 7,500 mil. That's awesome, dude. I hope he fucking does it. That's great. I don't fucking care at this point. I'm a Raider fan. I know what this team needs to move forward. Oh, well, you're just a fan. You're not in charge of the money. Yeah, well, I'm also not a fucking idiot. I'm also not a dumbass. I've looked at the roster. I knew the shit storm was coming. I tried to tell some of my Raider buddies. They don't believe me. They think I'm fucking stupid. And I don't give a fuck if I had 1,000 subs or if someone else has 30, 40,000. I don't care, dude. I'm a Raider fan. I wear Raider gear. You guys see this? Like, I bleed silver and black. Other people out there doing videos, I never see them wearing Raider gear, but they're supposed to be a Raider fan? Oh, well, I have an NFL channel. I'm going to promote that too, so I can make money off of that too. You see me with another Raider channel? Dude, we give back. This channel is giving back. I've given away one Devontae Adams jersey, given away gift cards to fools. Like, straight up, that's how it's supposed to be. Other people, they're milking Raider Nation for money, dude. They're just using you. Clickbait using you to make money off you. And they act like a Raider fan, but are they really? You got to answer that, not me. Anybody wants to get in here, I'll put the fucking link up if anybody wants to come in here. I'm pretty fired up. I don't know if I should do this, to be honest with you guys, but I will say this. There's a reason why my name is Hardcore Raider. If you don't know me or you recently subscribed, I do appreciate it. I'm a hardcore Raider fan. I gave myself that name because I come off the handle sometimes, man. I love football. I love the Raiders. I've been through a lot with this fucking team. Anybody that's been a fan as much as I have, most of my years, we've sucked. Most of my years of my life, we've sucked, other than the short stint with John Gruden. And a little bit there, I guess you could say, like in the 90s, we had a little chance. But, you know, other than that, it's been rough being a Raider fan. And now we're coming at each other's throats and stuff. But I'm just like, it gets me upset when people like go to a place where they're looking at this section of the team or this section of the team, whether someone's pro Carr or against Carr, and they don't look at everything and weigh both sides of the coin. They're just got tunnel vision and they like, nope, nothing else. And I'm going to use this opinion, this one guy's opinion, and now I'm going to make it Raider facts. And it's just a fucking opinion, man. How do we get so stupid as a society where we take one person's opinion and then we call it facts? I don't know, man. But it bothers me. So I'm so far behind the chat. I don't even know where to fucking start, guys, to be honest with you. I'll go up to 204. I'm going to go back 10 minutes. Sorry, anybody in the chat, if I don't get to your comment, man, I'm sorry. The Truth said, before, let's get Raider Rich in here. Raider Rich backstage. Sorry, I'm going to turn this off. Let's get Raider Rich in here and see what he has to say. What's up, Raider Rich?
What's happening, HC? How you doing, brother? Hey, I'm glad to see you back on, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spreading truth, you know. But we just can't sit here, you know, constantly, you know. Look, the defense is bad. Quarterback play has been bad. Okay? Equally. Okay?
Yeah.
When the defense only makes up about, I don't know, 19% of your salary cap, what do you expect? They put all their eggs in the Derek Carr basket. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look, he's a great guy. He's a great competitor. He's a good guy. I mean, and he's a better man than I am. I mean, and he stabilized the franchise because he did. You know, you have to give him his props for that. He's just not getting it done now. The game has changed. You know, if your quarterback is not mobile, if your quarterback cannot put stress on the defense, when plays break down or manufacture an offense, you're not going to be as effective when you play. And then, like, I see up and down your chat, you know, people keep saying, well, he didn't get enough time in the offense, and I'm calling bullshit because this is the Perkins offense, and the Perkins offense is what Bill Musgrave ran and Todd Downing. So I'm sorry that no, he's got a total of 5 years in this offense. I mean, and that's when he was his most successful, right? In 2015, in 2016, right? So we got to quit with the, he didn't have enough time. He knows the offense. He wanted to get back into this offense. I mean, this is the offense he wanted. Why? Because it's a Perkins offense and it has a lot of West Coast traits to it, right? He was in a Perkins offense, then a West Coast offense. This should be the back of his hand. And you can clearly tell which quarterback on Sunday was more comfortable in the offense. And it's not shade on DC. It's not. I mean, it is what it is, and we can't sit here and keep making these things up. But I am happy for the direction that the team is going, and how the team's going to be able to provide. Dude, when the punter makes more money than 90% of your fucking defense, bro, you have an issue, a big issue. You know what I mean? Trayvon Moore is the fourth highest paid player. He makes less than the punter. And then it's, let's see, it's Cleve Farrell, because he was the fourth overall draft pick. Jones, Mr. Friendly, and then it's Max Crosby. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get it done like that. You can't get it done like that. I'm sorry, dude. We need like 2 Roquan Smiths. Another Charles Woodson, either in the far back or at corner. Another thing I would like to ask you, because I know you like defense. Because of Nate Hobbs' struggle on the outside linebacker, what's your thoughts on maybe putting him at free safety? Because I think he'd be excellent. He's great in zones. He tackles well. I think that might be in the future for him.
Well, it really depends what we're going to do with Damon Harmon. I mean, Harmon's getting old. He's not that fast to some degree. But I'll turn this down a little bit. There's a little echo.
Oh, my bad.
But yeah, so let me see if I can. I'm going to see if I mute you if it changes it. Hold on, because it's echoing. Can you hear me? Testing. Oh. I'm trying to unmute you. I don't know why it won't unmute.
Well, yeah, I can hear you, brother.
All right. I'm just gonna mute you while I talk for a second, and then I'll unmute you because it's got a bad echo. All right. So like Damon Harmon, his contract's coming up. Rock Ya-Sin's contract's coming up. All right. So I think part of it depends on what we're gonna do with Harmon. I would like to keep Harmon for at least like a 2-year deal, and he can help. And I think we should draft a safety. Okay. But like, if what you're saying, say we we're going to convert Hobbs to safety. I don't exactly hate that idea either. I think Hobbs is a lot better. More of a nickel position than a straight up one-on-one match. Seemed like he did good the first part of the season. And then after his injury, it seems like Nate Hobbs has definitely taken a step back. Amik Robertson has shown glimpses at times, but Amik Robertson is really short. I hate to kind of go there with it, but I was pretty surprised that, Amik Robertson could get an interception against Kelsey, because Robertson, I think, is like 5'8", 5'9", or something, maybe 5'10". But, Amik Robertson is hella short. So it really depends on, I guess, the direction they're going to go with the guys' contracts coming up right now, meaning, Harmon and then, Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin I thought did pretty good, but is he a number one? Hard to say. I'd like to either draft a cornerback high that's pretty good, or we get a safety. So if we get a safety, then we need to get a cornerback in free agency. So it kind of depends on what cornerbacks are available. But, the other part of it is what are cornerbacks going to go, this go around in free agency is I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to try to look at the average and stuff. But you got to think, if a cornerback is say 50, let's just say it's 15 mil, and say before Derek Carr leaving, we had about, I think it was around 35 mil, 40 mil cap space. If say it was 40 mil available with a contract like Derek Carr's, well, 40 subtract 15 right there, you only got 25 mil left. 25 mil left, that's one Max Crosby. Or, 2 other positions. Maybe you could get a linebacker and somebody else, but that's why I say that you only have enough money for 2 to 3 players. Now with Derek Carr being gone, then yeah, our some of that money is going to be freed up so we can get some of these guys. But if Damon Harmon was a cheap deal, a bridge guy. You know, I'd like to keep him for 2 years, draft a safety. Excuse me, maybe move Hobbs back to like a nickel back position. And then, you know, we look in the draft for maybe a cornerback as well, you know, or figure out what studs are coming out in free agency for cornerbacks, and let's try to get one of them. We need at least one cornerback that's a super stud, at least one, almost two. If Hobbs is going to be like a nickel position, then we might need another, you know, cornerback as well. I'm not convinced Amik Robertson could be a number one, you know, all the time, but a good rotational piece to have on a roster, absolutely. But like, you know, we've seen in years past with Carl Joseph, he was a little short and like he would get smoked by tight ends and stuff. So we need, I guess my point is, we need someone that can cover tight ends. We need someone that can cover a Travis Kelce. We need someone that can cover a Kittle. You know what I mean? So we've gotten killed over the middle at times, you know. So whether that's a linebacker or safety, we got to figure out somehow, some way to be able to defend someone like a Travis Kelce, because we're going to play him twice a year. If they can't figure out whether it's a linebacker or safety or a cornerback to be able to cover Travis Kelce, and I know he's like great, like, you know, one of the best, if not the best in the NFL, maybe of all time, we're going to get lit up. You know, we don't have the talent we need on the team right now to go out there and show and produce for competing defensively against some of these teams that have really good tight ends or even wide receivers. You know, teams that run like a 3 wide receiver set on us, a lot of times we'll get smoked, you know. So there's definitely a lot of help that we need in the defensive backfield. Appreciate it, Raider Rich, for coming on here. Much respect to you, and thanks for the compliment about coming back on you know, YouTube or whatever. But you know, there's a lot of holes on this team to where, you know, just goes back to my original point. We just can't afford to pay people that kind of money and expect to have a different outcome, no matter who the quarterback is. And if Derek Carr is going to be average, he should make average money, like a 20 million, you know, $20 million a year contract. If Carr would have taken that contract, I'd say keep him. I think we could win with him, and then that will help us to get the talent we need. I think we've crossed that bridge. I don't think we're ever going to explore that option. I think there's bad blood, but you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Al's Ghost is in here. I want to get his opinion. How you doing, Al's Ghost? Happy New Year.
Forward, how's it going, man?
That's all right.
Yeah, I was listening to your live, dude. Appreciate all the content that you're putting out, and I just want to emphasize how you give back to Raider Nation, dude. You're definitely one of those content creators that's not here to take away from the community, but you're here.
Are you there? Can you hear me? I think we're having a connection issue, Al's Ghost.
I think I may have lost you there for a second. Hardcore, are you back?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was just saluting you for everything you do for Raider Nation, man, and definitely, you know, thanks for giving back and always being one of those content creators that's looking out for the best interests of the nation.
No, man, I appreciate that, dude. I'm not saying I'm the best Raider fan, but that's why my name's Hardcore Raider, you know? Like,
right.
I got a lot of emotions. I know I piss people off sometimes. Not everybody likes my raw style when I kind of get too emotional with this team or whatever. But no, I appreciate it, man. Dude, like, you know, this channel was created for unity. I'm always going to have an opinion, though. I'm, you know, strong opinionated, maybe too much at times. But, you know, I just want to say that, like, you know, without the fans, people tuning in or whatever, and people in the chat, like, dude, like, that's what means everything to me. That's why we, you know, this year I focused more on trying to give back, whether it's gift cards. I know you won we did the Raider quiz and you won that. You were killing it and whatnot. But like, you know, that was something fun and different, you know? And I just felt like, you know, I just feel like there's some guys that are so focused on trying to how they can profit off the Raiders and on gossip that it does make me upset, you know? But, you know, I try to be humble. It's not like, you know, I'm not the kind of person where I want to toot my own horn. I'm just like, I'm glad I'm in a position at times if I can get back to Raider Nation. Like I'm blessed that I'm like, I've worked hard enough in my life to be at a point if I can get back, even if it's not a whole lot, to try to get back to some of the Raider fans instead of taking from Raider Nation. And, you know, I'll just leave it at that. But thank you, man. Anything else you want to say about this, you know, David Carr or any of this other stuff?
Yeah, dude, I think excuse me, just a couple quick comments, dude. I think for me, when I step back and look at the Derek Carr situation, as you know, Hardcore,
I think it cut out again.
Especially this season, that I think it was time to part ways with Derek. It had been 9 years, and I think, frankly, for him, this was probably a blessing in disguise, and it was probably something that he was looking at to happen also for his own career, because I think he probably reached a breaking point, not getting what he needed in order to be successful with the Raiders, even though he said that he wanted to be a Raider for the rest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm at the point where, I completely agree. I don't think we can afford to spend 30, 35, 40 million dollars on a quarterback if we have so many deep holes on our roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But I will say, hey,
I'm still here. Keep talking. Pause. I think you're cutting out again. You there, Ghost?
roster, we squandered opportunity after opportunity. I mean, going back to, excuse me, like drafting DJ Hayden, Garyon Conley, Damon Arnett, PJ Hall, Eddie Vanderdoes, Arden Key, et cetera, et cetera. And we just have not hit on those picks. And I think that those misses have really handicapped our franchise, because when you step back and look at the successful organizations in the NFL, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New England, etc., all of those teams were built through the draft. They never overpaid for guys. When guys got to that second contract, they usually let those guys walk. And we just
I think Ghost having some technical difficulties. He there?
in the drafts a lot, and I think that's outside of Derek Carr's control. We've had GM after GM, and no one's really been able to hit. And then the other thing hardcore is, I think I mentioned this on another live. We've had 3 head coaches since October 2021. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've had 3 head coaches since 1969. And that's the kind of stability and consistency that you need at an organizational level to actually have success. And we just haven't had success. And during Derek Carr's tenure, right, it was like the opposite of stability. Dude comes in, he goes 0-10. Dennis Allen gets fired. Sperano's an interim. Then they
Ghost, you there?
emails. We had the Damon Arnett situation. It's a lot of BS. And to just, sort of emphasize the point that you made earlier, I think we're lucky that this guy actually stuck around for as long as he did, because especially in this day and age when so many, athletes are using social media and are talking through their agents and also just like the broader media networks. Derek Carr could have asked for like a trade and could have demanded to go play somewhere else, could have demanded a more stable situation. But I give him credit for sticking it out. And, he's a good guy, dude. And just one last point, dude. And, I'll jump off because I'm in the middle of work actually. But the last point that I wanted to make,
Ghost, you there?
violent dictator. Like, since when was Derek Carr, Saddam Hussein, and now we're toppling like his statue? The guy was a good Raider. He was a good, I thought he was a decent player on the field. Was he elite? Did he do the most with his opportunities? I think that's up for debate, but I'm in the camp of, hey, once a Raider, always a Raider. And I think sort of like stomping on the guy after he's down is just not cool. He was here for 9 seasons, and I think it's easy to kick a guy when he's down, and that kind of bothers me, to be honest with you.
No, I hear you. I mean, I try not to do it. I've tried not to do it because I don't want to be like that either. I want to just focus on moving forward and what's best for the Raiders moving forward. but a couple things on a couple things you said. The coaching thing, with the Steelers, I mean, that's a unique situation where most teams aren't keeping coaches that long. I mean, I think Steelers are probably the only one, to be honest, to look at that side of the coin. And the other part, even though they've kept coaches that long, how much production I mean, you're right, it does help, absolutely. But how much production have they had as an organization? I mean, they've gone to the playoffs and stuff, but how many Super Bowls have they won with Mike Tomlin? So, even though they've kept that consistency at coaching, it's really mediocre to above mediocre as far as the Steelers go. And we live in a society where everything is what have you done for me lately, right? So NFL teams all throughout the NFL are doing this like coaching carousel change. Most teams are lucky to keep a coach 2-3 years. At some point, shoot, maybe I'll break it down, look at it in depth, but that's a huge thing. The drafts, that was something else you said. The drafts, you're right. Absolutely. The drafts have absolutely hurt us not hitting on those. It's been, not just like mediocre, but like terrible. We did get Josh Jacobs for Cleo Mack. I'm a huge
Agency
proponent.
or fine guys. Yeah, we just haven't been able to draft, dude.
Yeah. So, I guess the flip side of this, if you're going to pay a quarterback that kind of money, you have to hit on the drafts. If like the Chiefs paying Mahomes, if they don't hit in their drafts coming up here, guys, this division is going to be for the taking because they're not going to have the money to keep some of the talent they have. If the Chiefs don't draft really, really well in these next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a cause and effect from that Mahomes contract, And so the situation with Carr probably could have worked out, when he got his first contract in 2017, if we had drafted better, but, we didn't. But, I don't know if Antonio Brown was ever going to be a true Raider. Maybe it was all just smoke and mirrors by Al Davis because we were moving from Oakland and there was all that cancer and toxicity there. But I feel like the Raiders tried at times, right? We tried with Henry Ruggs. We tried with Damon Arnett. Like it wasn't like they didn't put forth the effort. It was just the effort was put forth was like a strikeout, like a batter. It was like, I don't know, Babe Ruth trying to hit a home run. He struck out. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, I personally feel like the Raiders tried just for whatever reason, cause and effect. It did not work out, Cleveland Farrell reach in the draft. Absolutely. That was a terrible choice, as well as some others. But had Henry Ruggs worked out, I mean, we're probably talking about a completely different scenario, and I'll never be able to prove what happened that night. Hopefully it comes out at some point down the road, what happened at that golf place that Henry Ruggs was at. But I'm of the proponent with Ruggs. That was shortly after the Gruden thing. For all we know, someone there was at the golf place and was saying something about him having a racist coach. It pissed him. I hope this isn't the case, but maybe it pissed off Ruggs. He got drunk, made a really stupid decision because someone was talking shit to him or whatever. And, I don't know. That's all speculation. I can't prove that. But I definitely think there's something more to the Henry Ruggs situation that went down, the way it went down, than just this dude like having a good time one night. I think it ties to John Gruden and the whole shit storm that was coming loose amongst this team and whatever. And we've always had like, dude, being a Raider fan, dude, we've always had a dark cloud over us. There's always been some sort of drama. And I don't think it's every team, but like some sort of dark cloud, like we're cursed. Like it's like every year there's always something new. So hopefully this organization gets at a point where eventually this dark cloud surpasses us and we can have something a lot more to be happy about moving forward. That's my hope and wish as a Raider fan, so.
Yeah, I wish the same thing, dude. Unfortunately, I think this team probably won't change until ownership changes. And I think there's something iconic about the team still being owned.
You there? It was cutting out again.
I don't think that he's anywhere near, Al Davis in terms of football acumen. I think he's completely misguided when it comes to football, and I think he's just primarily concerned about money, and that's why he moved the team to Vegas, and that's why he doesn't care if the Legion is decked out in red and gold on Sunday, as we saw, because at the end of the day, everyone's buying tickets, and who cares about the product on the field if Ice Cube and Too Short are performing at halftime? I mean, it's a joke, dude. It's not like the Oakland days. I was a season ticket holder in Oakland. It would be really, really hard to see a sea of red in Oakland. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, this organization has been through a lot, man. And I know Carr. The funny thing is, Carr is like he never lied, like saying he grew up a Raider fan or whatever to some degree. He always said his dad was a Raider fan, for the most part, and I think he did everything he could for this organization. But he also grew up. I thought it was a Texans fan. I knew it was the Texans or the Cowboys, but he did grow up at a younger age rooting for the Cowboys. So it's not like all his dedication was always to the Raiders, I do believe his dad was a Raider fan and stuff, but uh, not every kid has to like the exact team that their dad likes or whatever. And young kids can like two different teams, but I just want to say, don't get it twisted. Like that Carr was only a Raider fan, I've only ever been a Raider fan, but Carr did grow up liking another team besides the Raiders. So, I'll just say that, so, and these guys are going to do whatever they got to do to make money. You know what I mean? It's a production based business, and, he's going to go out and make his. And as a businessman, I mean, shit, do what you got to do, I guess. But, I don't know. But anyways, what were you say else goes?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, I think he'll probably move on, go to another team. Probably a good landing spot for him is the Colts. I think they have a couple good receiving weapons there. They have Jonathan Taylor at running back. They have a solid offensive line.
Are you there?
With the Bills and Miami, and also the Patriots always being a threat. So I would see him probably going to the Colts or somewhere in the AFC South if he wants to find immediate success. But wonder what your thoughts are in terms of potential landing spots for him. And I'll take your comments off air. Hardcore, always great chatting with you, dude.
Yeah, you too. Where you said where Derek Carr is going to be next? Oh, he's already out. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people are like, well, the Jets, but the cold weather. People are talking about the media crushing, their players. So like, I kind of get that. Some people are like, the Colts. I think the Texans, believe it or not, could be a spot. I don't think we could get their first round pick because they're going to pick first overall in the draft. But I think the Texans could actually be an interesting choice. I think Carr is going to go wherever he's going to get paid. He can say whatever he wants about coaching and, ownership and all this stuff. But, I mean, there's always a high coaching carousel throughout the NFL. If you look at every team besides maybe the Steelers, there's a lot of places out there that are constantly going through coaches, So to find this like perfect marriage where it's a coach that's been there for a long time and a stable organization and ownership and, they're just one quarterback away from winning. That's probably unrealistic, to be honest with you guys. The cold weather thing with Derek Carr. Look, I live in cold weather areas. Your body can adjust to living in cold weather areas. It just takes a while. Could take 3 to 6 months to really get like kind of used to it. But I don't think Carr is going to make his decision just based off of weather. That might have a factor, but if it's someplace cold and he's going to get paid, I don't think he's going to care. So like, Jets, I don't know if he'd be able to handle the media there, but Jets could be a possibility as well. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Carolina Panthers. I'd have to see what the who's their quarterback there. Forget it was like Dalton, I think, or no, it's help me out. Who's the quarterback for the damn Panthers right now? We got someone in here. We got Dirty. Let's say, hey, Dirty, how you doing, man? You there?
Hello.
Sam Darnold. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, so I'd have to see Sam Darnold's contract with the Panthers and see how that contract lines up. If they're already owing him a bunch of money, then Panthers may be off the list, but Panthers might be an intriguing option for Derek Carr. But can you hear me all right?
Yo. You there?
Yeah, speak up a little bit. How you doing, man? What do you got?
I'm good.
Yeah,
how you doing, man? It's
good.
Dirty Eric 1500, man. I'm calling from Jersey.
Right on.
I just want to say one thing. First of all, Happy New Year's. I just want to say one thing.
You too.
I hear all of this talk. I've been the biggest Derek Carr fan and supporter since he got there. I argue almost every day about Derek Carr. Keeping him. All up until I seen the last Pittsburgh game. Remember when Hayward got to him the very first time, early in the game. Then he threw a pass to Devontae on the sideline. But Hayward was coming. He threw the ball out of bounds. They showed the replay, and they showed Derek Carr's face. From that moment on, I was done with Derek Carr. Because at the end of the day, we are the fucking Raiders, all right? There's no such thing as a good, all of that shit. We were fucking straight animals when we were winning. We don't need no fucking Christian. We don't need no, hello, how you doing, bitch? We need fucking Max for man's best friend. We don't need Lassie. And last couple of days ago, that fucking kid got on the field and showed us that offense fucking works when you work it. You can't be standing in a pocket. It's like the guy said, and like you said earlier, the fucking league has changed. It became mobile. You have to get out of that fucking pocket. You got to be afraid to take a hit. That kid took multiple hits and completed passes. Why can't a 9-year fucking vet who's been to the Pro Bowl before, who's on top of helping us stumble into the playoffs last year, why the fuck can't he grasp this damn playbook like that kid? I know you're going to say he's been in it longer, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. You are a 9-year vet. You should be able to get on top of a lot of shit and show these your team and your coach that you really are committed to excellence. Open this shit up. I looked at the Patriots game a couple weeks back, and I keep seeing Matt Jones yell back at the fucking coaches like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. What the fuck is wrong with you, Derek Carr? You've been there 9 fucking years. You don't got enough pull to do that when you know it's some bullshit? Oh, you just going to use escape shit. It's where the coach knows where the ball's going to go every time. Nah, fuck that. No. You see, now, if Brady was to come along, Brady's got the fucking clout throughout the whole league to say, fuck you, that's some bullshit. I'm not doing that. All right? I'm going to do it my way because I know how this thing is going. I don't know what the fuck got into Derek Carr. Okay? You want to everybody blames the coach. And at first, I was too. Because to be totally honest, those first 4 games we lost, I'll give them all to McDaniels. You was not fucking running Josh the way you should. And we lost all those games very close. That if we would have had that extra element on the ground, it would have provided, a more of an opportunity for us to actually win those fucking games. Because when we started running Josh, we started winning. We took Kansas City to the fucking limits, all right? But because some of those players really didn't know their routes, that last bullshit that happened. But still in all, you're a 9-year vet. It's way down the line in the season. We need these fucking games. You said in some of your huddle breaks, I'm gonna play harder than 98. I heard him say that before. Harder than Max Crosby. If you are, then fucking show that damn dog. But you didn't do that. And right now, these kids are coming out there with this fucking Brock Purdy. Who the fuck ever seen him coming? Who the fuck is he? Playing like he's been in the league 9 years. Look at this guy. And you mean to tell me you can't do that? You afraid to take a hit? You afraid to play in the cold? We're giving you $146 million. 40 of it's guaranteed 3 days after the Super Bowl. You think I want to give you that money if you're going to show me your little bitch? No. What would Jake the Snake be saying right now at Derek Carr play? What do you think Rich Gannon be thinking when he see Derek Carr play? For real. And I can't believe all of these people who say they love the nation so bad. I was included in this pack too, until I just woke the fuck up. Like, what the fuck is going on? That offense works. It works. Yeah, we need a lot on the defensive side too, but later for that. But you're still supposed to put points on the fucking board. You're still supposed to move the fucking ball. I mean, come on. We lost to fucking Kenny Pickett. Them motherfuckers couldn't. We had a 13-point lead. Or a 10-point lead. You blew it. And you say, the defense did whoa. As soon as you go 3 and out 3 or 4 fucking times, your defense is going to get tired. It's up to you to control the team. You got to put points on the board. I don't give a fuck how hard Max Crosby's motors run. He's a human. He's going to get tired. Help him out. This is what Josh Jacobs was talking about. I'm tired of people saying help out the defense. No. He's tired of that. He meant because they were right. They need to help out the defense. But wait a minute, it shouldn't be that way. They should have points on the fucking board. So the defense can actually, if they get a 3 and out or whatever, they'll still be up. You know what I mean? I just don't get What the fuck is going on? Release that fucking money. Let's move on from Carr. I love the guy. Let's sit him, bring in some kind of motherfucker to beef with him in offseason and let the best man win that job, or draft you a quarterback somewhere. But your first priority with any of that free money, I don't care what nobody say. I know our defense got a lot of holes. You better fucking re-sign Josh Jacobs. They did him fucking dirty. This is another reason why I gave McDaniels the nickname McDumbass. You didn't trust him. You should have signed him. You should have never. Now, what happens if he don't want to play with us no more because of this Josh Jacobs, this Derek Carr thing? I'm just saying. It's a lot of things that can happen that nobody knows. And we, even me, I could be wrong about everything I just said. But this is what I'm looking at. And I've watched it for the past 9 years. I'm 40 years old. I've been a Raiders fan since fucking 89, 90. I can't remember the last time we won a Super Bowl. I was locked up when we was fucking in the Super Bowl and got robbed that year. All right. And come on, man. I'm 40. I want to see it while I'm young. I'm not going away to fucking Vegas and spend a whole bunch of fucking money to see us lose. No. I was at the fucking Giants game and I was in fucking tears. Like, come on. Like, I get so emotional over this shit, and it's all at the head of Derek Carr. And like my little daughter, she's 5 years old. I'm like, Daddy, why do you watch it? Why do you watch it if you just go like? The other night I was in tears. She was like, why do you watch it if it makes you like this? And you don't understand. Real fucking Raider fans, people who love the Shield, not the players, the fucking Shield is really emotional when it comes to this team. I'm mature. I pay my bills and work. All I really have for enjoyment is my Raiders. This is my time of the year because of the Raiders. So if they're not playing well, of course I'm going to get emotional. I hate to be yelling and screaming. But, come on now. I know it's a bunch of other fans who feel the exact same way. I love Derek Carr. Don't get it twisted. However, it's time to move on. When you love something, let it go. Let him go be great somewhere else. But give some fucking kid who's got enough heart the opportunity. Because that kid showed us that offense, regardless of what our defense look like, fucking works, but you gotta work it. You know what I'm saying? And you said something about in a few years, if the Chiefs don't draft well, you're gonna see the fucking the displeasures from that contract Mahomes got. Well, I'll have to beg to differ because Mahomes has the kind of fucking skill that makes players want to come with him, come play with them. Of course, they'll take a pay cut. Derek Carr don't got that kind of play. Right. Brady's got that. Josh Allen's got that. I don't believe in Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's worth whatever the fuck they're talking about getting him. I wish people stop talking about that. And I'm a black man too, but fuck that. You're a good athlete, but I need somebody who can throw the ball too. And you've been hurt. Get him the fuck out of here, all those miles on it. $300 million. Get the fuck out of here. All right? I need somebody who can move and can throw the ball too. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's basically what I want to say. I hate to eat up the time like that. Once again, happy New Year. So thanks for having me on Hardcore.
Hey, can you stay on for a few more minutes? Dirty?
Yo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yo.
Yeah. Can you stay on for a few more minutes? I gotta go run and do something for a quick minute. I want to ask you a question, and can you give your answer on it? Dirty.
Nope, can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Hello? All right.
Yo.
Well, I'm gonna bring on Raphael. I gotta run here.
Yeah, you gotta turn it up. I think you got me muted. I can't hear you.
No, I don't have you muted, bro. I agree with everything you said. I'm gonna bring on Raphael, and I gotta go do something real quick. But I want to get your opinion on what you think of this coaching staff, their play calling, and like moving forward, if you think they are the long-term solution or whatnot. Can you give your opinion on that? And I'll be right back.
Hello. So, in my opinion, that we are fucking screwed. I mean, at the first beginning, I thought it was going to happen with Josh McDaniels. First, Josh McDaniels is not a real coach. He's not capable to do things. He's not capable to do like playbooks. He was playing just like a conservative plays. And I think that Josh McDaniels is going to be the answer about that? No. Josh McDaniels, he had to go to McDonald's to flipping fucking burgers and fix the ice cream machine because it's not going to happen. I mean, what could have happened wrong about it? because in that game against San Francisco Niners, Jerry Stidham was really good, but the defense was fucking trash, and they need to repair it. So I'll just say it one more time. They need to repair the red zone defense, the offense, all about before it's too late. And now we got it that one. So when I'm thinking about this, is we're really fucking screwed. We need like a fucking change sooner or later. And I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed and I'm pissed because they need something a lot of better. Because what happened to the community excellence and the phrase all Davis says, just win, baby. Now we got an owner, Mark Davis is hanging out with his bald haircut, doing this dumbest decisions. I mean, if I was a manager, I would grab like one of the highlights, one of the greatest head coaches that have put the Raiders in a scary mood. Because what happens? Because that time when I was thinking about it, what happened to the Raiders to happen? Because I was watching the 2003 Super Bowl and we just lost it. Now we gotta full of pain for that. I mean,
Oh, he dropped out. I don't know what happened to Raphael. Appreciate Dirty coming on. I agree with a lot of things that Dirty was saying. I was gonna ask some questions, but appreciate Dirty for coming on here. You guys, hey, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to give their opinion, I know Raider Critique, salute Raider Critiques in here, Circus Raider, Dark Atheist, Dominique, Raider Critique. I don't know when you're off or if you want to join in. I'll try to go as long as I can. Critique, send me a text when you might be available if you want to give kind of your opinion or whatever. You guys don't have to join with me, or you don't have to agree with me to join and give your opinion. Just don't. Let's try not to get personal. I got a little personal earlier, but I try not to fucking get like that. But some people really fire me up when people are like so narrow-minded, and like when they're putting clickbait shit out and it's just like rumors and there's no actual facts behind it. It's just like an assumptions, and then people are buying it as facts, and that's not the way we should work, especially Raider Nation. But I'm going to put the link in the chat. Anybody wants to give your opinion, you guys come on here, you can join. And I'm always curious what other people are thinking, because I'm a strong-minded, opinionated person, but I also think it takes all kinds of people to make the world go round. Raphael just dropped out too. So what do you guys think? So, I asked a question about the coaching staff, the play calling, kind of moving forward. If you guys think this coaching staff is what's best for the team and whatnot, I'm kind of 50-50 on, I'll be honest. I think the play calling can work, but I don't know about the leadership. And that's huge to me. Like inspirational leadership to get players fired up, motivated to play. This whole Patriot way, this passive aggressive leadership really bothers me. I know modern society has adapted this passive aggressive leadership. If you don't know what passive aggressive is, I'll try to explain it. I could look it up, give you the exact definition. But the way I look at passive aggressive leadership essentially is like, you're not going to tell someone if they're doing good or bad necessarily. You're just going to let someone hang themselves, meaning you're going to like stay back at a distance and watch and see how they produce. And if they don't produce, you're just going to move on. Essentially, it's like you kill people with silence. Okay. And I think that's exactly what Josh McDaniels is like a kill you with silence kind of a coach. I could be wrong. I'm making assumptions. Okay. These are just my opinions. But if he is that style, it can work for some people and some personalities. I've seen it work, but it can also destroy a team as well. So when you go from a leader like John Gruden, this is important, guys. When you go from a leader from John Gruden, that is definitely not passive aggressive. He's extremely aggressive leader. And then you go to a passive aggressive and you have a lot of players on the team that are used to a more aggressive style of leadership, that's going to get in your ass if you're fucking up or whatever. And then you go to a passive aggressive leader where that's going to kind of not always tell you if you're fucking up or like how to do better. And he might be telling them how to do better. But like, if you're used to a coach that's got a foot in your ass kind of thing, and then you go to a coach that's like more silent and, just going to tell you in the meeting rooms, hey, you got to do this better. It's like it's like mentally, like if you're used to one style of leadership, it's like a mental mind shift that can really have a cause and effect, meaning that the cause would be the culture shock. The effect would be it could fuck you up mentally because you're used to someone like yelling at you and a foot in your ass. And now you got to like, fight your own demons or whatever. Now you got to find a way to go out and like ball out and not have someone with their foot right up your ass. So, that's one thing I want to say. Give me 1 second. I'll read some stuff in the chat. Let's see what Circus Raider, man. Appreciate you coming on here, dude. Circus Raider said, never been a McDaniels fan, but I hope God he proves me wrong. I never trust the former Patriots coach, but please, for the love of God, be different than the rest. And I agree with that. I mean, we've seen a lot of Patriot coaches not, do good. There's, I don't know, I guess when I look at this, the Patriot way and all that shit, it could work. I just don't know if it could work with the players that we have, because it's a completely different leadership style than what we had before. Completely different. So the other thing, when I look at and I've said this before, but when I look at the coaching staff as a whole, one of the main things that, I'll say is, like, from our offensive coordinator, I know he's not the exact one calling the plays, but from offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, I think our offensive line coach, like, there's a lot of coaches on this team that, like, were like college coaches or not proven coaches that are, like, really probably didn't have the resume to be in the positions they're in. Like, essentially, it's like we have a lot of coaches on our staff, whether they're position coaches or offensive coordinator or whatever, that are unproven. Defensive coordinator, so they haven't earned their stripes, right? They're good yes men. When you get those guys, they'll do whatever you say, but that doesn't mean they're the best guys for those positions. Okay, so there's two sides to this coin. One, it could end up working. These guys could prove they earn their paycheck and they're a good position coach, they're a good defensive coach down the road or whatever. Or it could be that they've never earned their stripes and they really don't deserve the position they're in, like, defensive coordinator, whatever it is, because they're not proven, and they'll be good yes men. So you have a head coach, Josh McDaniels, with all these other coaches. Most of them aren't proven, okay, as well as they're a work in progress. So you got to build the entire team. You got to teach them the new system, and you got all these coaches on the staff that haven't earned their stripes, in my opinion. Okay, some people may disagree. That's fine, but you can't expect to be a successful franchise when you're trying to. It's like Josh McDaniels took on too much, trying to develop Derek Carr, trying to teach the playbook, trying to get all these coordinators and position coaches to step up to the plate to earn their role on the team. And it's too much newness. It's like, it's all like too much, it was completely different. And I've said this before as well, but when, Sean McVay with the Rams went there to be their coach and he got Wade Phillips as their defensive coordinator. Well, then Sean McVay is just focusing on the offense and letting Wade Phillips do whatever he needs to do for the defense. And Wade Phillips is a proven coach, especially defensive coordinator, that has earned his stripes. We don't have coaches on the staff that fall in that category. We don't. So Josh McDaniels is trying to do everything. And I think he got too cute. I said this towards the beginning of the season, like, did Josh McDaniels take on too much? And I think he did. Absolutely. We saw Bill Belichick do this with the Browns, and maybe they would have turned it around maybe another year or two, but the Browns ended up selling the team to the Ravens. And, so that was kind of their last year. And then I think I'm trying to remember the coaching tree, but, because Bill Belichick came from Bill Parcells, was there as defensive coordinator for the Giants run in the 90s, for their Super Bowl run there. And then, I know he's on the Jets for like a quick minute, but then he was like, I think the defense coordinator for like the Patriots as well, when Bill Parcells was the coach. And then I forget where he went and then came back and then he was the head coach. But the point is that, Belichick took on a lot trying to develop the Browns back then. Nick Saban was part of that coaching tree back in the day. So if you look at what Belichick did with the Browns, that's what McDaniels was trying to do with the Raiders, and I think he got too cute. I think McDaniels absolutely got too cute. He took on too much. He's got his like his hands in too many different piles, and he's not like, it could work, but so far it's not working. He's got to, like, I don't want to say delegate. I hate that word, but he's got to figure out a way to get like more out of these guys or get different guys that can do the job, because the way it's looking to me overall with like coaching and stuff is like, it's not good enough, obviously, or we would have seen more production on the field. So let's get into some of these other chats. Dark Atheist, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming on. He said, hold on to that opinion. This is upcoming season should give us a better grasp of what McDaniels as a head coach. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. LOS, loss. hope you're doing good. He said, thanks for nuance and breaking down the money issue. Really puts things in perspective. It does. And I try to be fair. I'm a fiery person or whatever, raw. But like when dude, I'll be honest. I was in the same boat. Like I liked Carr. I was like, I want to win with Carr. But when I take off my fan hat, I put my general manager hat on and I break it down. I'm like, it is a business and it's a production-based business. And when we paid Carr that kind of money, we should have been getting production at least between like 4 to 8. But honestly, because we paid him top quarterback money, it should have been production of like 2 to 5. It really should have been 2 to 5. The 4 to 8 rank is me being very forgiving. Very forgiving. That's me like looking at the coaching, the changeover on the team, bad defense. Okay. That's me taking that into consideration. If I don't take those things into consideration on the contract, it's like Carr should have been like 2 to 5, top 2 to 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And when you break down the stats and stuff, it just wasn't there. So, but yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I do try to be fair, even if my emotions get the best of me sometimes. Billy J said, but he had Tom Brady. So, he is a DA at best. He did have Tom Brady. You're right. And he hasn't shown that he can win without Tom Brady. I mean, that's always a question to me. Like whether it's Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator, Adam Gase. It's like, Peyton Manning probably didn't need an offensive coordinator. So it's like, who makes who better, or is it just a team thing? Did Tom Brady make Josh McDaniels better, or did Josh McDaniels make Tom Brady better? The way it's looking is like Tom Brady probably made Josh McDaniels a lot better than he was, but that coin could be flipped either way. Same with Peyton Manning when he had Adam Gase. Adam Gase, I think, thought he was this great coach or whatever, and I don't think he was. He went on to the Jets. He did terrible. I think Peyton Manning made Adam Gase who he was. And Adam Gase didn't do shit after he left the Broncos and his and Peyton Manning's little stint there. So Kenneth Evans, man, what's up, brother? Appreciate you as well. He said Mark is an idiot for hiring McDumbass because history teaches that no Patriots coach can succeed without Belichick and Brady. That's true, but I'll say the other flip side of this is like being a Raider coach is different than being a coach for another football team. Let's just be honest. From the bad calls from referees and stuff, I think we definitely have gotten a couple calls going our way. Like this last game, Davante Adams made that catch. I think it was a catch. But I'm always ready for the refs to fuck us. I'm always ready for like, it should be this way, but refs are going to call it this way. Let me pull out the index card, fold it in half, and let me see how I can fuck the Raiders. So, I see like a catch like Davante Adams made. I'm like, it's a little bit questionable if he had control of it, but I totally expected the refs to call that the other way. So the point is that being a Raider coach, like Gruden, like got the name Chucky. I've said this before as well, but like he got the name Chucky from losing games towards the last minutes of games and stuff, guys. So it wasn't like Gruden. I mean, Gruden was a fiery coach, but it wasn't like he was just like Chucky day one. I think he grew into being that Chucky because he learned how being a Raiders coach, how he gets screwed over. And that's what built the fire within him. So, and then carried on, with him after that point. Gord Peterson, hopefully you're doing good as well. Appreciate you. He said he did learn from his tenure in Denver. I hope you're right. You said he did learn. I hope you're right. Well, we'll see moving forward. Nutty Raider Nate, what up, man? Hopefully you're doing good, brother. Nate said people who need an aggressive leader just might not work for them in Vegas. Example, Ruggs. It could be, man. Oh, Gord Peterson didn't learn. Oh, so Gord Peterson saying he didn't learn from his stint in Denver. We'll see. Everything is always like hindsight's 2020. So me as a Raiders fan, as much as like if we're stuck with McDumbass or McDaniels, however you guys want to say it, hopefully he turns this thing around. I'd like to see him be a more aggressive coach, but I don't know. We'll see. Kenneth said everything that's happened to the Raiders is a copy and paste of what he did to the Donkeys when he was in Denver. Actually, yeah, I know some other people have said that, but yeah, like from the quarterback and kind of what he did there. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get a freaking Tim Tebow in the draft. So Dark Atheist said everything indicates Josh learned from his last rodeo. Mr. Z is the balance of all this. Let's see if anybody else got anything to say. Dark Atheist said Carr is a vet shouldn't be this difficult, especially from someone who played in the system previously with Musgrave, to learn old Kirk's and playbook right away. I mean, it's crazy that, like, I know he's gone through all this stuff, but like when I look at it, it's like, dude, like, if it took Carr 3 years, 2-3 years to learn Gruden's playbook to have like a good production year, like in 2021, if it's going to take that kind of turnaround this go around, like say if we kept Carr, we don't have 2-3 years to learn this playbook to get production. We got to make a Super Bowl run next year or the year after with some of these contracts, dude. So yeah. Dark Atheist said, Carr was never blindsided. He was given plenty of time to develop in a system. Carr was never blindsided. Kenneth said, problem with the guys that coaching our team is that he does things backwards instead of fitting the system of players, and he does opposite. Look what Rams coach did with Mayfield. Yeah, I agree, man. G Warred, what up? Said Vinny Bonsier is still saying the Raiders need a couple more years based on defense. These Raider riders don't give two tits if it takes 20 more years. This is Vinny's way of protecting Josh McDaniels. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely guys like that do articles and that are on, radio shows and stuff that are always going to say things that are maybe an agenda put out by higher ups, because think of who writes their paycheck. So, if they're putting out a narrative, I'm not saying it's true or not true. I'm just saying be cautious of that narrative, because that narrative may be something like you're saying to cover Josh McDaniels' ass or something. You know what I mean? So, and not just that, but Vinny was putting out stuff about Derek Carr not being our quarterback moving forward, or potentially not being our quarterback moving forward, weeks before it dropped to the newswire. Vinny Bonsignor was setting the stage for Raider Nation that Carr may not be our quarterback next year, weeks before it happened. Now, was that by hunch? Was it by design? Like, did he know something that none of us knew, that they were already ready to move on? Did someone tell him the narrative to put out there? I don't know. You tell me. But I look at stuff differently than a lot of people, and I can see bullshit a mile away, usually. So when I see like certain narratives and agendas being pushed, I'm like, I'm always going to look at it at the opposite side of the spectrum to see why this narrative is being pushed. But that's kind of my thinking. Big Tone said, shout out to you, man. He said, McDaniels did make Mac Jones a Pro Bowler last year. Yeah, I don't know, man. Pro Bowl's hard because, like, with the playoffs and, Super Bowls and stuff, guys can fall into the Pro Bowl without being that great. That's my opinion. And it's more of like a buddy voting system than it is like who's actually the best. But, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we're going to have to see what Josh McDaniels can either do with someone that's not a vet, or like maybe see what he does with a Jarrett Stidham or like a rookie quarterback or something like that. So, all right. Dark Atheist said, like I said previously, Carr played in the system before, nothing new here. The player obviously got too comfortable and thought that coaching was going to cater to his needs again. This one's interesting. I think it's a good comment, because this kind of makes you think of something that I thought about and whatnot. Is that, essentially complacency, okay, is the way I look at this. So complacency is like you get too used to something. It's like a guarantee. I got a sound bite right here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to play it. Let's do it. We're going to do a 1.5 break, and I'll get in your guys' comments. And if anybody else wants to join, appreciate you guys coming here. Please subscribe. Going to give away this Devontae Adams jersey, guys. Brand new, whatever size, whoever wins it, whatever size you guys want, you got to be subscribed for that. I'm going to play 3 video clips I have. Okay. Listen to them closely, because I did this a couple years ago when Gruden was our coach, but listen to these takes from Derek Carr. It's gonna be about 1.5 minutes long. And then you guys tell me what you guys think. Okay. What you guys think of this. Okay.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my team, and it will be for the next however long I want to play. Some guys are going to just get in your face and scream at you. I don't learn that way, because I'm like, I don't. And what are we really doing? We're just saying loud words. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to, try and show you up. Every game you can't go out there and score 30, score 21 points. And call it a day. I don't want anyone to take anything away from the play that he made because it was very impressive. You have to give them the credit because they did a good job on this. We did put ourselves in position to make a run, and we didn't do it. It's just as simple as that, right? I leave those kind of things up to coach. My job is just to go through my reads and put the ball where coach wants it. Oh gosh, what's new with our crowd? Yeah, whenever we don't win, that's going to happen. I'm sure they don't want to hear anything right now. That's my answer, man. Nobody cares. Happened before. Been here long enough. You play here long enough, it'll happen. But I don't think anything of it. It's happened for 6 years.
But the thing that I like this week, that was better than last week, nobody gave up. So
at the end of the day, I've been doing this long enough to know nobody cares, even if that's the case.
Is that a certainty your quarterback as he is?
I'm not going to get into all the next year scenarios. I'm just going to say that 7-9 is a step forward. Statistically, I think we took a step forward. We got to get a lot of guys healthy, and we got a lot of things to look at and evaluate before we start making any assumptions.
Negative 47% chance that they were going to draft somebody in my mind.
I think it's time for some fresh air.
All right, so that was a couple some clips I did. Obviously, I kind of clickbaited the soundbite, to be honest with you guys, but it shows a body of work of things that Derek Carr has said repeatedly. And even though those clips are a couple years old, it's almost like verbatim of like where we're at right now with the Raiders and Derek Carr. He's very confident, negative 47% chance he's going to be drafted. I'm just trying to do what the coach tells me. You got to give credit to the other team. And as a leader, some of that bothers me. It bothered me years ago, guys, to be honest with you. I always rooted for Derek Carr, even through the animosity and turmoil and stuff. But when you listen to some of that stuff, there's a lot of arrogance in those things that he said throughout years, a lot of lip service and press conferences. He was so arrogant to the point where he's like, well, there's no way I'm going to retire Raider and this is my team. And, but you got to produce. You can say all the words you want. If you're not producing, then, he even said this year in a press conference, people have been trying to trade me for 8-9 years or whatever. Now, I will say I am not one of the guys where I was like, well, trade Carr and get Russell Wilson. And, I was firm on that, dude. I didn't want Russell Wilson. Some people are like, get Teddy Bridgewater, dude. I have not been in that camp, dude. I'm like, we'll keep Carr, see what we can do with him, but not at the contract that we're paying him. Because I didn't feel like it was good enough, and I knew we needed more talent on the team. And I knew the cash was somewhat of an issue to get that talent. But when you listen to some of those things, that's what stands out to me with 10, own a small business, 10 plus years of management is one, very arrogant, very, very arrogant. We lost the game to Jacksonville. He blamed Raider Nation. Okay. I don't want this to be a Carr bashing, but I'm just stating the facts. He blamed Raider Nation. What's new with our fans? That's what that soundbite clip was. Okay. He threw the ball away. Some people are like, well, I finally got to a point where I'm ready to move on from Carr this year. Well, hello. Let's be honest. Carr was throwing balls away on 3rd and 4th downs instead of making a play or just throwing the ball up to somebody for a chance to win it. He's throwing the ball away to lose the game. And I'm like, I'm mind blown in these situations, guys. And when he's given more credit to the other team than taking self-accountability, these are red flags for me. Like if I'm a player playing for Derek Carr and he's like, well, you got to give credit to the other team and this is my team and it's going to be my team moving forward. But if his production is lackluster and he's the highest paid player on the team, if that's your leader, how are you going to perceive that? Are you going to play harder for that guy? Or are you going to think this guy's like a Chicken Little fucking like weasel and he's just lip service, but his production isn't good enough on the field? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you guys what to think. I have an opinion on it. If you listen to it, there's some red flags in there. I'll say that. There's definitely some red flags in there that if I'm a Darren Waller, I would be pissed off. I would probably not play as hard for that guy. I just wouldn't, I'd collect my paycheck. Yeah. But I'm not going to go out and get my head knocked off because he's throwing a ball where, I'm going to get lit up by this defensive back because it's a mediocre pass, and that's just, you got, as a leader, you got to find ways to inspire other people more than just a lip service, speech before the game. That can help, and I'm not saying he didn't do all for the Raiders. He did, but his all wasn't really good enough. And he didn't take enough accountability at times. He'd say like, oh, that's on me. And, but it's always a sidestep. It's on me. But for years, he's always said like, it's, I'm just doing what the coach tells me to do. That is not good enough to me. If you're a top paid quarterback, you cannot just be like, well, you're passing the buck. This is a passive aggressive leadership style that I'm talking about. You pass the buck, Chuck. You're saying, well, credit to the other team, did the best I could, but I'm always doing what the coach wants me to do. Maybe he is. Okay. But maybe what the coach is telling you, whether it's John Gruden, Josh McDaniels, Tony Sperano, Dennis Allen, maybe what they're telling you isn't good enough. Maybe you got to have some balls. Maybe you got some balls to step up to the plate and just go out there and ball out. Ask forgiveness later. Stop trying to be perfect, I'm telling you, his balls have been a half a second late for years, not just this year. Years, half a second late. Throwing balls away on 3rd and 4th down. Dude, no. I mean, yeah, maybe you don't want an interception, but at some point, someone's got to ball out. If you're making that kind of money, you got to make plays. You got to figure out a way to get it done. And if you can't get it done, then there's going to be a cause and effect, and you ain't going to be a Raider. And if you get to the point where you're arrogant, -47% chance you're going to be a Raider, and this is your team moving forward, well, in my opinion, you haven't exactly proved this is your team moving forward, because if you did, the production would be there. The numbers would be there. The wins would be there. The touchdowns would be there. The red zone would be there. There would be actual facts and proof that you brought it to the table and you produced. And if you didn't produce, then there's also facts that all you're saying is lip service. You become a lip service master, a mastermind of how you can conquer the press conferences. But the production on the field is average to above average to mediocre. And I'm not going to buy that. I can't, guys. I can't look through that lens. As a Raider fan, I can't. I've done it at times, but it's hard. At some point, players got to go out and ball out and make plays. And if they don't, then, move forward. And, we crossed that bridge. We did everything we could to try to help him out. And that's how I see it, man. I'll always love the guy. I appreciate what he did for the Raiders. Maybe he helped bring in Devontae Adams, but these guys want to make money too, man. So, all right. So moving forward, let's get in the chat here. Hopefully this coaching staff does this shit right. I'll just say that. Hopefully they do this right. All right. Kenneth, man, he said, with the offensive firepower we had this season, our coach basically had a wide open layup and missed the entire basket. And what world is calling a deep pass on 3rd and 2nd the correct play to call? Not sure what play you're referring to, so I apologize. I'd have to look at the exact play. Otherwise, I'm going to give an opinion, and I might take it out of context. So, Raider Lux, shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. You said, true shit. Carr started to think he was untouchable, especially after Adams, and he really thought his job was guaranteed. Dude, like any job we have, it's always a production-based business. If you don't produce, I mean, and if you produce like average or whatever, like dude, I've been on businesses, dude, where I've seen people get laid off right before Christmas, dude, like people with families, a really shady way to go about doing business. People have been there 6 months. Some people have been there for a couple of years. I've seen people at a company for 10 years and get laid off right before Christmas. Some fucked up shit, man. So like, you never know when people are looking at who they're got to chop, if they got to cut down on, the staff or whatever to make ends meet and their overhead and their bills and stuff. If you messed up a certain amount of time throughout a certain amount of period, you might be on the chopping block. And that goes in football too, man. What have you done for me lately? That's just how life is. Warreb said, it's pronounced, G-War Eb. G-War Eb. Just let you know, a lot of people pronounce it like you do. I apologize, man. It should be, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, your name should be like Raider War or War Raider or something, or G War Raider. That's what I would say. But you've been a long time listener, dude, and fan, so I appreciate it, dude. So Dark Atheist said, there's also a recording of Carr during the offseason while preaching statements of where he claims he doesn't need rings because he accomplished everything in his life. I did see that soundbite. Some people take that out of context. I'm going to try to be fair here. Essentially, he's saying, like, his brother won a Super Bowl and it's not as big, as hyped up as it's, like, meant to be or whatever. And he was kind of joking about it. It did kind of bother me. I knew it was like, his brother won a Super Bowl as a backup and, like, it's not as great as, like, he thought it would be. But you're right. I mean, back to my initial point is like Derek Carr. I always like the Bible says we want to get religious, right? The Bible, and not saying I'm the best at it, but the Bible says you'll know someone by their fruits, meaning their actions, right? And so if Derek Carr says he gave the Raiders a team-friendly contract, and you look at the contract and it's not team-friendly, and he was the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL, then to me it's like, what the fuck, man? It wasn't team-friendly when it happened. He was the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL. There ain't nothing team-friendly about that contract. The only person that contract was friendly to was Derek Carr. And him and his family have been blessed because of it. I bet you David Carr is so rich because of Derek Carr's contract, because I bet you Derek Carr, paid it forward and helped his family out and stuff. Of course, David Carr is going to go on NFL Network and start marketing for Derek Carr for a new team and to get another contract. I bet you. Why not? You going to make 25, 30, 40 mil a year? Hell yeah, I would do it for my brother too. And hopefully he'd give me a couple mil, because I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do some free marketing for my brother with my job title. Talk about a fucking conflict of interest. A conflict of interest. But whatever. He going to get paid. Let him be him, man. But you'll know his true colors. You'll know his true colors. He said he was going to retire a Raider. Yeah. He also said that he gave us a team-friendly contract in 2016, meaning the 2017 contract. And he also just said it in 2021 when he got that contract extension. It wasn't team-friendly to the Raiders, guys. We gave him amazing contract that was friendly to him and his family. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. Okay. Grabby, what up? So we all just need to get off Carr. Last game in Oakland was the last straw for me. Me too, man. It was. When he said that, he said, what's new with our Raider fans? Yeah. Raider Luck said, he really said it with his chest, laugh out loud, that his brother Bench won a Super Bowl and his family has it covered and it's overrated. Well, yeah. I mean, you've made 130 mil off the Raiders. Yeah. What's more important? A Super Bowl that pays you what? I don't know what they get. They probably get a bonus if they go to the Super Bowl or win, maybe a mil or something, extra mil. So the Super Bowl going to be more important to you, or 130 mil? You tell me. I know where my priorities would be. I would try to not get hurt, play it safe, say all the right things, and make as much money as I could. Every player always says they want to retire with this team or that team or whatever. They all say that, dude. It's all lip service so they can get paid, man. The NFL, like, loyalty isn't what it used to be, no matter what someone says, but whatever. All right, way too real. He said, what game did he throw away that fourth down? I hear about it, but what game was it? I got to see the highlights. I mean, dude, I think the fourth down one, I think that may have been the Jacksonville game, last game in Oakland, but like, dude, there's so many games where he threw the ball away with John Gruden on third down. I know you're talking about fourth down, but threw the ball away on third down. It's crazy. It's crazy how many times that Carr has thrown the ball away to nobody on third down. So Raider Lux, if you guys know what play that was where Carr threw the ball away on fourth down, maybe put it in the chat so you can let Way Too Real know. But he did. I just don't remember what game. He's done it. The reason why I don't remember is because he's done it on so many plays, maybe not fourth down, but on third down. So Raider Lux said he's just, I'm going to try to throw it where coach wants me to. Kenny Pickett rookie. I throw it where the defense tells me to throw it. Levels of to this shit, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. It's self-accountability. Self-accountability. Stop blaming the coach. Like, you threw the ball where the defense, like, however they were lined up, that like it where your coaching and your leadership was given, A plus B equals C, that if this happens, then I'm going to throw it here. And, now if you do that, depending on what the defense is doing and there's nobody there, then maybe throw it away. But don't just say, like, I'm just doing whatever coach wants me to do. It's ridiculous. No Raider fan wants to hear this fucking bullshit anymore. We've dealt with it for too long, guys. So if you listen to coach, it's stupid play, so kill the quarterback, kill the coach. It's a combination of things. I mean, we can't be at a point where, like, oh, well, we love Derek Carr, but we hate Coach McDaniels, or we hate Coach McDaniels, or sorry, we love Derek Carr, hate the coach, or we love the coach, hate Derek Carr. There's got to be a median, and you have to decide that for yourself, man. There's plenty of blame to go all the way around this franchise, and long before fucking Josh McDaniels. So Ricardo Diaz, what's up, brother? He said, Raider Luck, exactly. No one ever said, I'm leaving if Mac is not on the team, crying, cheering against his team, or wishing bad on the Raiders. That is someone, some other level shit. Yeah. No, it's true, man. It's crazy. That's crazy. So, you know, it's like some of this stuff is kind of asinine because it's like Derek Carr is like, oh, it's a business, to some degree, but then when it's flip side, then it's not about business. So I don't know, dude. You guys got to figure that out on your own. It pisses me off is what I'll say. So Alsgo said, I had a coworker who was laid off after being on a job for 30 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can happen to anybody, dude. It's happened to me. I've had to figure shit out, man, and I've been devastated from it. So life and work, no matter what your profession, is always about what have you done for me lately? Are you producing? Can they go out and get someone younger that's better, not paying him as much or whatever to produce the same amount? And if you're getting older and you're fading off, it's just the reality of life. Big Tone, what up? He said, I gave up on Carr in 2019 when 4th and 1, he threw the ball away, give someone a chance. Yeah. That was, I think, the 4th down play we were talking about earlier. If you remember, Big Tone, if you remember what game that was, put it in the chat. I'm trying to get caught up here. Kenneth said, plays that blew my mind were the running back pass when Jacobs was hurt his hand. The play where Jacobs was a fullback. Adams was at, he said, road or round. And those wide receiver plays to Adams that never worked. Yeah, there was some trick plays that were kind of questionable. But here's what I want to say about the trick plays. Well, first of all, when Jacobs hurt his hand, to have Jacobs throw a pass, the first play he's back in the game with a hurt hand is really fucking stupid by coaching. Maybe McDaniels completely forgot that Josh Jacobs' hand was hurt. I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's definitely a dumb play. The trick plays, I think, are a little bit different because you can do trick plays that don't work, but it's because you're doing it to try to set something else up later on. So you might do them knowing they may not work, but you're going to do it to set up a bigger play down the road. And that part I like. I'll be honest. That part I like is because, like, it's like poker. You're like, you're trying to set something up, to make someone else do something to where that sets up so you can do something like a bigger plan that you have in your playbook. And it can work. And that the Patriots have done it and it has worked. So, think of, the simple answers. Think about this. Think about the Broncos game, the game where we won, where Devontae Adams acted like he was going to run around and then he cut back the other way. Okay. And we threw a touchdown. We won that game. That play was set up because of another play where Adams ran the same route, but he ran all the way through. Okay. And that was when Surtain jumped the route to try to get an interception and Devontae Adams threw it back. So you can set plays up for something else later on. And that's huge because with Gruden, as much as I liked Gruden, he didn't do that. Like, he kept things, in my opinion, too simplistic to some degree, or too, I don't know if that's the right word, but like he set things up so much to a point where Gruden was always going to be like, well, just keep doing it this way, instead of switching it up and change, whether it's a receiver route or whatever to set something up for something else. Sometimes you have to change shit on the fly. And that's what the Raiders did in that Broncos game. And that's why we won that game. Otherwise, we probably don't win that game. Had Devontae Adams kept running that route, Surtain probably gets that interception and the game's probably over. So, sometimes those trick plays or those like question mark, what the hell are they doing, could be a good thing to set something else up down the road that can, help us get to a victory. So I'm actually excited of what this coaching staff can do, trying to have that philosophy, because I think that philosophy can work, but that's just my opinion of it. The contract, Way Too Real said the contract now is very friendly. Absolutely. Now we're going to have so much money, guys. We're going to have so much money to build this defense, maybe get offensive linemen, hopefully sign Jacobs. That's what I'm excited about. It sucks the way things like went down with Carr, but that's what I'm excited about. Rich Villa Real, what up, man? He said his brother won a Super Bowl right in the bench. Elite QBs, I think not. Yep. Rams. Gord Peterson said Denver a couple years ago. Was that the 4th and 1 play or something you're talking about? Dark Atheist said there's countless of times where Carr threw it away. There is, man. I mean, there is, guys. And I always try to be honest, but there's a lot of plays where like it was like maybe he was worried about getting an interception and that's why he threw it away. But at some point, man, just give your players a chance. Give the team a chance. You know what I mean? And instead of throwing the ball away. Gordon said, I think it was a 2-point conversion to win with Gruden and Denver against Denver. I think that was the game I was at. I think that was the game. I'm like 98% sure because I live in Colorado. I'm 98% sure I was at that game. And I'll tell you what I seen being up in the stands at that Bronco game. If it's the one I'm thinking about, we had a chance to win the game towards the end of the game. It was a little bit cold. It was cold. I'll be honest with you guys. I think it was starting to get dark out because I've been to like 3 Denver games. One of them, I was at the Denver game when Carr threw it to Renfro in the end zone, and it was like an interception. That play pissed me off. But I've been at a Denver game where I've seen Derek Carr just sitting on the sidelines, not warming up his arm, not getting with the rest of the team to get a game plan together, not getting with the offensive coordinator, digging in the playbook. So this is before McDaniels and stuff. And I was so irate. I left. I'll be honest with you guys. I left the Broncos stadium yelling the entire fucking time. I was yelling my ass off that after we lost that game. And I said, people wearing Derek Carr jerseys, I said, fuck Derek Carr. I'm fucking done. I'm like, he's fucking, I went off. Like Raider fans, I almost thought I was going to get in a fight with some Raider fans because people wearing Derek Carr jerseys. And I'm like, he sucks. He's not getting in the fucking playbook. He's done being a Raider. I can't take this shit anymore. Because if he was great, he should be digging in the playbook, warming up his arm, getting with his wide receivers, and game planning for the next drive instead of sitting there on the fucking bench. And that's the other thing that has pissed me off with Derek Carr for a long time. And I'm not making this shit up. I'm not doing some clickbait video, making up rumors of the playbook being switched or whatever. I've seen it with these 2 eyes right here. My eyes. I saw it, and I saw our quarterback not doing what it takes to win the game. Him being a spectator on the fucking bench instead of getting this team rallied up to win the game. And that is completely unacceptable, in my opinion, let alone a guy that you paid top quarterback money to. Because that's not leadership. We don't need our quarterback to be a spectator. We need our quarterback to figure out the game plan to go win the fucking game. I've seen it more this year than any other year with Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels. I've seen Derek Carr with Josh McDaniels digging in the playbook, trying to devise a game plan to win the game more this year than any other year I've ever seen. And I've wanted to see it for like 8 seasons because this would be like 9th season, I guess. So anyway, all right. Try to get caught up on these comments and then we'll close out unless anybody else. If anyone wants to join the show, I'll put the link in one more time. I'm going to get out of here soon. So if anybody did want to, come in here, give your opinion. Ray Deluxe said he threw a 4th and goal against Tennessee. Ricardo, what up? He said, I like Carr, but let's be honest. One guy gets 9 years to develop and everyone else doesn't. And they did him wrong. Wow. Shake my head. I mean, yeah. I mean, he got paid, guys. I mean, we got to keep it real. Okay. Like I said, we got to keep it real, man. You break down the contract and stuff, what he made, it should have been better. Should have been that top 5, and it wasn't. David Carr, most sacks in 1 year. Little bro Carr, most interceptions this year. Can these guys even play backyard ball? That's pretty funny, Rich. Way too real. Carr hated this much? No, it's just that, dude, we want the Raiders to win, man. And it's a production-based business. There ain't no commitment to mediocrity, guys. I mean, the slogan is not commitment to mediocrity. Can we agree with that, whether someone's pro Carr, against Carr? Can we agree that the slogan is not commitment to fucking mediocrity? Just lose, baby. Pride and fucking poise. This team has sucked for over 20 years. Yeah, we went through a huge span of shitty-ass quarterbacks before Derek Carr. Absolutely. But we paid him top quarterback money for mediocre play, above average play. And there's other factors, yeah. But as I said, when you pay your quarterback that kind of money, you don't have the money to go sign the other guys that you need on your team. Okay? So we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. It's not hating on him. I don't see it as hating on him. Other people will, because they're looking through a cloudy lens. They're not looking at all the facts. You look at the facts, we break it down. It wasn't good enough. And if it's not good enough, we got to figure out, dude, I don't care what company it is, dude. If you're like a piece of shit at your company and you're not producing to earn your paycheck, you're going to be gone. I don't give a fuck who you are, how long you've been with the company. Any of us that don't produce in our life, there's accountability. And if you don't produce for that paycheck, you're gone. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do for work. And that's real talk. That's real. So you name me a company that's going to let you not produce and you're getting paid top money in that company, and tell me where that company is, because I want to get hired on. I'll fucking go work for them right now. You pay me top money, like damn good money, $200,000 a year or some shit. Like that'd be the equivalent to like what Derek Carr's making. And I can just do mediocre or a little above average and get by. I'll fucking do it. Absolutely. I'll do it, man. Sign me up. Tell me that company, because I will fucking work for them tomorrow. Kenneth Evans said, I agree. They can work, but holy moly, they never worked. Adams isn't a speed guy. So the reverse plays made no sense. They shouldn't have used Hollins for those plays, but those plays, because it's successful, was when they did. Yeah, Devontae Adams ain't the guy to do that. But I guess the flip side would be if, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm going to try to look at it like from all sides. Okay. If say you're going to set up a play and you're going to run like a reverse or something, or where like Devontae Adams ran into freaking Derek Carr or whatever that play was, and it was a terrible play call. Okay. If say you're going to hand the ball off Devontae Adams, okay, that one play, maybe that isn't the exact play you're trying to do. Maybe you're going to run another play where you motion Devontae Adams, and then you're going to do a quick slant. Okay. And you're really doing the reverse play to then motion Adams later on. And then he's going to do maybe a quick like end around or a quick slant or something. And the quick slant play, or maybe him in the flat or something, is really the play that you want. But you got to sell it as the reverse first. So when you do the next play, it works. So, and I'm not trying to disagree with you and say you're wrong exactly. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of like, you can do one thing because you really want to do something else later on. That's all I guess my point is. Alice Ghost, man. Appreciate you coming on here earlier. Alice Ghost, unless you own the company, your job is always in jeopardy. Absolutely. That goes for all of us, guys. Absolutely. 100%, dude. Good, great comment. Rick 4777 said McDaniels does not look like he's producing either. Absolutely. I agree with that. McDaniels looks mediocre as well. Unfortunately, or depending on what side of the coin you're on, we're kind of stuck with McDaniels for a while. Okay. Where Carr, we'd be stuck with him if we kept the contract. That's how I look at it. So we'll see if it works. Hindsight's always 20/20. It may not work. Hopefully it does, but we'll see, man. So I'm not giving McDaniels a free pass. Fuck no, man. Hell no. McDaniels has to figure out a way to be a better leader. He wants to do this passive aggressive, leadership, like he's not flipping over tables. He better get this shit figured out like next year, because we might give him a pass or somewhat of a pass this year. He ain't getting no passes next year. We've all given Derek Carr enough passes to know what we got, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. We the people say, shout out to you, man. He said, I seen Stidham throw an interception and make the tackle. DC never attempted to make a tackle after throwing an interception. What's crazy is when I saw that play and I saw Stidham make that tackle, I was like, damn, dude, that's some good form. I was like, I couldn't believe, like, as soon as the interception happened, Stidham was like, boom, so, I mean, it wasn't like he had to go running at him. That's a little different. It was like, they were both kind of there right as the interception happened, but yeah, so. Kenneth said, I'm going to leave it at Carr could have definitely played better, but at the same time, organization also had 9 years to improve, and they didn't. They did the bare minimum and wasted so many drafts. Yeah, there's a lot of accountability to go with this organization as well. It was the drafts to the stuff that happened in the coaching was mediocre as well. So, I mean, I would almost venture to say Derek Carr was never going to be successful. Never. Derek Carr in this organization was probably never going to be successful. And that kind of sucks to say, but I'm just being real. But at the same time, when you pay your quarterback that kind of money, you're also going to be limited on the cash left over to spend on the talent you need to get your team to step up to the next level. So there is that factor as well. Rick said, what baffles me is DC looked way better under Rich Bisaccia last year than now he aggressed this year. Can't help but think McDaniels had something to do with it. Dude, you could be right? You could be right. But like, let's look at this from an analytical standpoint. It took, people think Carr was like so good under Gruden. That's not actual like that. That's not true. That's not true. Carr was not good years 1 and 2 of John Gruden. Year 3 or last year, he started looking good. And it was really, we were, I think, what was like 3-1 or something, right? When Gruden got fired or something like that. But he started looking a lot better, and we did have better weapons on the team and stuff like that. But it wasn't until like at least like that third year that we seen a lot better results from Derek Carr than prior years. Year 3 or 4, I think it was. Trying to remember when Gruden came. I think it was 2018. Gruden came our coach, or maybe it was 2019. But anyways, I think it was 2018. So looking at from that standpoint, we can't wait 2-3 years to like have a quarterback understand the system and be like somewhat good or above average. We just don't have that much time. So he regressed. McDaniels didn't do good enough job leadership. Maybe McDaniels did it on purpose. There's that potential too, or like purposely tanking or not setting people up for the best success. I don't know. Appreciate you as well. Ricardo said, Hardcore Raider, appreciate you for keeping it real. I'm always going to try to do that, dude. I know some people don't like that no matter what side of the fence they're on, but that comment means a lot to me. I appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody in the chat, keeping it real. I don't want to turn this off season into like a bash Derek Carr. I didn't want to get this far down this rabbit hole as I am right now, but it does fire me up. And like, I'm going to be honest, dude. Like I'm going to be honest, from all sides of the coin. Just like I said, it's possible the Raiders never set Derek Carr up for success. It's possible that we would have failed the last 9 years with fucking Tom Brady. That's possible. Maybe even Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy. That's a hot take. Maybe even Patrick Mahomes would have failed under this fucked up franchise. Maybe. I don't know. I know that there was definitely not enough things set up for success for Derek Carr in this organization. I get that. But you also can't pay your quarterback that kind of money and expect to have enough money left over to pay the team to get the talent you need, especially when going back to Reggie McKenzie and obviously the missed drafts, but Reggie McKenzie picking up an organization that had a hell of a shitstorm of cap space from Al Davis era, rest in peace. But Al Davis, there was a lot of bad money going all the way back to Al Davis. Reggie McKenzie gets, it kind of taken care of, and then he starts digging us a hole in our cap space. John Gruden adds to it, and now this organization is trying to figure it out as well, or the new coaching staff. So it's been a lot, and it all ties to the draft. Not drafting well has really fucked us because you can't move on from those guys, and when you're overpaying people because players don't want to come play for your team, you got to pay them too much. It's an issue, Alsgo said, I hope Ziegler knocks the draft out of the park. The pressure is on him now. Absolutely. We're going to see real quick what Ziegler and Josh McDaniels offers to Raider Nation and this organization. And if they're really going to be successful or trying to, be successful, or if they're going to shit the bed, they're going to, draft a Cleveland Farrell 4th overall or 6th overall or some shit, we'll know real quick. As soon as we got that Cleveland Farrell pick, dude, I actually have a draft reaction of it. I was so pissed, dude. The only thing that made up for that draft is when we got Josh Jacobs, because that's who I wanted. But Nutty Raider Nate, what up, big dog? He said McDaniel's offense produced a top running attack, and Devontae Adams broke Tim Brown's record in McDaniel's offense. That's true. That's facts. That's some straight up facts right there. That Devontae Adams broke Tim Brown's record. So. And Derek Carr did help to that. Let's give Derek Carr some respect, as terrible as he played. But, and Devontae Adams did that in a 16-game season. The NFL has extended to 17 games because, Tim Brown back in the day, he was making those records with 16 games. Well, Devontae Adams just broke it in the same amount of games, which is 16. So huge shout out to you. That was a great comment. And then shout out to Devontae Adams for, accomplishing that. So, Big Chop said, lost respect for Derek Carr, or for David Carr. Yeah. I did too, but I just look at it like, even though I'm talking a lot about it, it's time to move on. And like, dude, David Carr, think of how much, like, if you own a company, think of how much like marketing cost. If you want to market your company and your business, right? You could spend a good chunk on marketing to try to grow your brand. Or you have a big bro that's on NFL Network, right? And you can grow your brand and he can do your marketing for you and you ain't got to pay nothing. Unless he's your brother and you're going to kick him back some cash from the contract, which is possible, but yeah, I mean, Derek Carr has the biggest marketer in the world, and that's David Carr. I wish someone could do that for me, dude, in my business and what I do. Free marketing, I'd fucking do that all day long. All right, we the people said Stidham, the man at the moment after that tackle, throw a TD and laying the lumber all in one game. Yeah, dude, he got like Stidham, man. He knew he was gonna get cremated, and he's like, I just gotta hang in for another second, and boom, threw it to Devontae Adams. Ended up being our longest touchdown of the year or pass, reception, 60 yards. So yeah, that was pretty awesome, dude. He was willing to stay in or not in the pocket, but rolled out, stuck in there, took the hit to make a amazing fucking play. And shout out to Devontae Adams for like knowing to freaking, I'm not just gonna stay here. Like, I'm gonna have a mental self-conscious. I'm going back this way in the open field, and held up his hand, got the ball. Freaking amazing play. We need to see more of that. All right, Rick said, not saying Carr is not partially responsible, but come on, this franchise overall has been dysfunctional. Absolutely. I mean, the move from Oakland to Vegas was enough to make any player not want to be a Raider. Let's just be honest about that. So, wonder how much more I got to go. All right. We the people said, McDaniels ain't no dummy. That's how I feel about it. McDaniels, some of these games where he's not, this is where I'll definitely hold McDaniels accountable. Some of these games where he's not coaching good enough in second halves, I don't buy it for a minute, guys. I don't. I'll be honest with you, I don't. Even though I'm like critiquing on Carr and whatnot, or call me hater, whatever. There's no way Josh McDaniels is this fucking stupid to not be able to adjust the game plan and keep his foot on the gas to destroy a team in the second half. He did it for years with the Patriots. And yeah, that was with Tom Brady. So I know Tom Brady has a huge factor in that, but there's no way Josh McDaniels is this dumb to just not be able to like know how to keep his foot on the gas to finish a team. All of a sudden he comes over to the Raiders and forgets that. I ain't buying it for a second. So not saying he's purposely tanking, but there's something there. I'm telling you, there's something there. There's no way this guy is this stupid. Not buying it. Ricardo said, same goes for McDaniels. If he didn't produce when he gets what he wants, then his job is on the line too. No one is behind the shield. Facts. Hardcore Raider, thank you for keeping it real. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you as well, dude. I mean, no one is bigger than the shield. And as I said earlier, man, Al Davis got rid of, like, you got to look at a lot of stuff in context. Al Davis got rid of John Gruden. Al Davis, like, got rid of Marcus Allen. Al Davis, essentially told Tim Brown that he was going to be the biggest third down wide receiver and that he was never going to see the field more than on third down until John Gruden came to our team. And John Gruden was like, well, why aren't they using you on third down? And Tim Brown told him, and John Gruden went against the grain. John Gruden went against Al Davis. So this whole like, well, I'm just doing what the coach tells me to do that Carr does. John Gruden did not do that shit. John Gruden went against Al Davis, and John Gruden's like, fuck that. We're going to use you, Tim Brown, and you're not just going to be a third down wide receiver. And that partially got, John Gruden on the hot seat with Al Davis. But I just want to say, because Al Davis didn't want to use Tim Brown like that, and John Gruden did. Al Davis shit-canned people that got bigger than the shield. Derek Carr, let's be honest, let's keep it a buck. Derek Carr got bigger than the shield. Derek Carr got bigger than the Raiders. Some of the things he said, this is my team, I'm not going anywhere. Negative 47% drafted. That's a place of arrogance, and that's a place of somebody that maybe has gotten too complacent and they don't have enough. I don't know how, I don't want to like test his character, but they've gotten to a place where they're just like, I don't know how to exactly put it, but they've gotten complacent to the point where it's an issue. And now we got people that are like, well, I hope he beats the Raiders when they play the Raiders. I mean, hello, McFly. We're really going there. We're going to say we want Derek Carr to beat our team. If you're a real Raider fan, if you feel that way, I don't want to get personal. I'm going to try not to, but you got to check your loyalty. You got to check your loyalty. If you're a Raider fan, why you're a Raider fan, and if you want to stay a Raider fan. Because if your loyalty is to one person, nobody's ever bigger than the Shield. Not saying I agree with how the Raiders have handled this, but you know what? I mean, you got to figure out why you're a Raider fan. Otherwise, go be a bandwagon Patriot fan, dude. Please, for the love of God, go be a Patriot fan. They have tons of fans because they've won so much. How hard is it to become a Patriot fan through all their years of Super Bowls and stuff? Go be a Niner fan. Go be a fan of some other team and go hop on that bandwagon. Because if you're at that point, I'm going to say, figure out where your loyalty lands. Otherwise, there's plenty of other teams out there that could use a fan and a bunch of other bandwagons. Anybody that's bled silver and black with this team, we ain't no bandwagon fans. We ain't been winning. There ain't nothing to bandwagon to. We've been bleeding silver and black through a lot of sucking. That's straight up. I do too. I wish Derek Carr the best, no matter what happens, man. All right, Kenneth said, I want to leave this convo positive, Nate, and being what's said, what's everyone's favorite Raider memory? Mine would be, I'll have to go to a game, was Derek Carr, man, running around the stadium, slapping hands, 2018, last game of the season, Christmas Eve. I believe it was last game or second to last game. But, that was my favorite memory as a Raider fan. It was projected to be the last game in Oakland, but we ended up staying there for one more year. Ricardo said one of his was Al Davis when he passed. Al Davis was past his prime, but Rick said, let's see how Stidham performs this game beyond. Now we got that tape on him from the Weiner game. Yeah, I want to see a body of work from Stidham. I'm not ready to crown him. I mean, I did a video just talking about like he did better than Derek Carr, but I'm not ready to crown him the next Tom Brady or whatever. But if we can get him for cheap, man, that's my thing. I want a cheap quarterback or a team-friendly deal because I know the talent we need on this team, Appreciate it, Anthony. Going to try to get caught up here and then close out the show. Kenneth said for Raider memories, he's got 2 moments. Raiders going to the Super Bowl and that game where Mac killed the Donkeys with 5 sacks. That was a sick game, dude. Mac tore him up. So, hopefully we got another Super Bowl. Hopefully it's the one in Vegas this next year. Long shot. We got a lot of holes on this team, but it sure would be nice, man. We'd have to get a lot of free agents that are studs and spend some good money to be on defense to be a Super Bowl caliber team, as well as at least 1 to 2 offensive linemen. So Anthony said, I forgot his name, but best guess was the dude from New Jersey. He had it perfectly. Yeah, dude. No, he was good. That was the dirty dude. Like Dirty 1500. No, he did awesome, man. So I appreciate him coming on. Definitely, had some great things to say. Anthony said, I think David Carr is out of line cap on the Raiders the way he is when his younger brother Derek is playing like complete garbage. Like David was acting complete blind to Derek's play this year. I mean, I agree with that. But I mean, if it's your brother, and like I said earlier, if that's your marketing campaign, I mean, you're going to want your little bro to get paid, man. And hopefully he kicks you back some. So like, I agree with you, right? Like I think it's horseshit, but I mean, we shouldn't expect any different. I'll just leave it at that. You shouldn't expect any different. And if that was my little bro, man, I'd probably do the same thing, man. He's going to go on the biggest marketing rally this offseason to get his brother paid. And somebody's going to, do it. So, Raider Jesse 24. What up, man? He said, what up, hardcore? Welcome back. No one is bigger than the Shield. Raider Nation for life. That's right, man. Raider Jesse, good to see you as well. Haven't seen you for a hot minute. Been back this year quite a bit. Took a break there during the virus and all that. But appreciate you coming in, Raider Jesse. It's crazy after even like a couple years, like when I took a break during the virus, I still remember all the OGs. So appreciate you, staying one of the true ones here. Silver and Black said, I hope we don't get Lamar Jackson. He's not another RG3. Michael Vick, Kaepernick running QBs have 0 chips. I mean, I'm going to break down another video about these running quarterbacks. It does scare me. I'm not going to lie. I don't want a vertically challenged running back, okay, that can't see over the line. And, RG3 and like, if you look at all the guys that are hurt right now is Kyler Murray, Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, I think it is with the Niners. He got hurt. And then Lamar Jackson, like the best running quarterbacks besides maybe Justin Fields, almost all of them are hurt. Justin Fields, Josh Allen, I'll say. Besides those two, you got 3 other guys that are hurt. So it's a risk and versus reward. But Gregory said, what about the play calling? 1 inch to go, first down, 49er game to get you that win with a quarterback sneak. I mean, we tried to run it with Jacobs, and Jacobs got stuff too, though. So I would have the one where like about ready to go in the goal line. I would have liked to seen like an off tackle play, like bounce the running back to the outside, because I knew they were stacking the box. When they stack the box like that, offensive or their defense is like loading, like they got all their defensive linemen. They're bunched up close, right, like a goal line. They got the middle linebackers who are they're going to blitz right up the middle. When the defense does that, it almost always leaves an option for right on the outside of the offensive line. Whether you're doing like a tight end play, like a quick pass, whether you do a pitch play. I know pitch plays like, to the running backs aren't big in the NFL anymore. And sometimes those can end up being disastrous, but whether it's pitch play or you like bounce the running back on the outside for the off tackle, I would have liked to seen something like that. As soon as the defense lined up, bunched up like that, when we're about ready to go in and score, I did not want them to run up the middle. I'll be honest. A lot of people may disagree with me. I would like to see either roll the tight end out like a fake block, roll the tight end out, or you have your running back bounce to the outside. Okay. That's going to give him a fair chance. And Jacobs is fast enough as a running back to do a play like that. So Cardo said, right, hardcore, like Gannon and Gruden would go against each other, and it worked. Just thought Carr should have done the same. If think McDaniels had bad play calling. Here's the thing, guys. If your leader, like at your job or something, right, they're going to tell you like, hey, go do this, right? And say it's a job you've been at 5 years, 10 years, okay? Let's compare, somewhat to Derek Carr. Say it's a job you've been, doing for 10 years. You get a newer, manager or something like that. And it's not going to work because you've done it that long. Are you going to go out there and do that? Or are you going to do it your way? And as long as it works and you get a touchdown or you're producing at your job, you're going to do it your way. And then if your boss says something like, well, why did you do it like that? And be like, then you can explain, well, this happened. And like, I felt like it was going to be best to do this thing. Your manager, they might be mad at you, but think about it. If your job's on the line, your job, you might be on the hot seat after this season. You better go out there and figure out a way to do what's best for you and your future if your leader is setting you up for failure, because that's what we're talking about, bad leadership and someone setting someone else for failure. So you're going to do whatever it takes to keep your job and to produce and whatnot. So Rick said, favorite Raider memory was 2002 AFC title game against the Titans. Yeah, dude, that was a pretty great game. Absolutely. Brian Dixon said, right, because remember Bruce Kukowski and the Pittsburgh game? I remember thinking he was our next stud QB that day. Yeah. Gronkowski was one of those guys I was like, man, like I rooted for him. I was like, at some point this guy's going to turn around, but it just wasn't good enough. So, but yeah, good comment. Rick said, that would be hilarious if Tom Brady comes to Vegas and they go to the Super Bowl in 2024. Wi-Fi Willie, anyone? I'm going to give a video on it. I don't want it to happen, but it's the funny thing is I didn't do any videos on it earlier in the season because like I don't want that out in the open and stuff. I was thinking about this midway through the season before Wi-Fi even did any videos on it, dude. I was in a group chat. I was talking about it. Some people are like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, dude, I could see it. And I was explaining it and stuff, but it's just kind of like whatever at this point. Now it's in the open. Everybody, is talking about it. And it's just kind of like whatever to me. I seen it as a possibility before anybody put videos out. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just being like 100 with you guys. I said at group chats, you can ask some of the people that are in the group chats. Gabriel, was in there. So, you know, I'll just say this. It's more of a possibility than not. And maybe that was their game plan the entire time. Again, there's no way Josh McDaniels is this stupid to blow 5, double-digit leads after he left the Patriots. And, part of it's execution, but part of it is coaching. Absolutely. So, it makes sense. It makes sense. I've thought about it, and I kind of seen this coming a mile away, and to where I could see Brady being a Raider and why they would want that to happen. I'm going to break it down in another video, though, so I don't want to give up too much here. I already gave up too much in a group chat, and next thing you know, somebody doing clickbait videos of my takes and exactly what I was saying. So go fucking figure, huh? Got some leaks up in there, just like the Raiders organization got some leaks. So kind of funny, but anyways, whatever. Turd, his name is Turd Ferguson. That's awesome, dude. 20% play action passing for Derek. Meanwhile, first 9 passes for Stidham was play action. I mean, Turd, here's what I want you to do, Turd. I want you to start your own YouTube channel, and I want you to prove what you just said right there, okay? Because I know you're referring to Wi-Fi Willie's fucking show, right? And Wi-Fi just pulled something out of his hat before the All-22 was released. So if you can prove this, maybe I should do it just to prove if you're right or wrong. If somebody can prove what Turd is saying here and Wi-Fi Willie, I'm going to call all you motherfuckers out right now. One of you guys can prove this is actual facts, that the play calling was actually different for play action for Jared Stidham than it was for Derek Carr. I want to see it. I want to see someone prove whether it's right or wrong. Because Wi-Fi doing some fucking clickbait shit without actual facts has me wondering how many of you guys are following someone saying an opinion, and now you're calling actual facts. So let me see it, right? Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. Prove it. Prove it. Stop going on Twitter and, all this other shit that's an opinion. Somebody's got to fucking prove it. I hope it's Sanjit. Sanjit, hopefully you fucking prove this shit, because I want to see it. I want to see someone not just say it and not just the numbers. I want to see you break down a video and actually prove it. And I'll just leave it at that. And not by clickbait and flashes, stealing NFL fucking whatever, NFL clips. I want to see someone actually do the math, actually break it down, and see if the game was actually that much different with Josh McDaniels and Stidham than Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels. And if it is, then we'll look at the data. Where were the flea flicker and halfback passes or Adams lining up in the backfield for Stidham? Oh, come on, dude. The flea flicker worked 2 times, dude. This is where I get personal, right? I don't want to go there. The flea flicker worked 2 times and nobody was saying shit about it, dude. I mean, dude, what are you saying, bro? Where were the flea flicker and halfback passes or Adams lining up in the backfield for Stidham? You got to do a better job, Turd. Otherwise, you're going to be a turd in my chat, and I'm gonna bring it to a level I want to go. Champagne said Carr's a loser. Glad he's out of here. Appreciate it, Rick. Thank you, man. Open up a can of worms, that TB stuff. Yeah. I know. Probably blame me. I said that shit week 4. I saw that shit coming. It was like week 3. I didn't want to believe it, though, because I don't want it to happen. But I could see it. And I'll tell you why my facts. Actually, my opinions are actually quite different than a lot of other guys. So, but Ricardo said, I heard for someone else, they asked a team player that the same. Sorry, I heard for someone they asked the team player about the plays being called different. And no, they just execution was different. Yeah. I think the players are playing harder first in them. Here we go. Appreciate you, worst bro. He said, thanks for posting this. All right, let's see. He said Sanjit posted Derek Carr's play action percentage of drop back since 2018, 2019, 21.5% of the time, 2021, 19.1%, 2020, 24.9%. This is kind of broken down weird. I don't know why they're not numerical order. 2019, 22.3%, 2018, 17.8%. So, So I'm trying to read this because it's kind of broken down weird the way they put it in the chat. So it's 2022 21.5%. And then, so what would we need to fact check this, whether it's Sanjit or someone else? What we need to fact check this deal is to see what the percentage was for play action for Jared Stidham this last game. But not just that, guys. There's games where you have to go shotgun passes. And sometimes the shotgun is going to be what's best for your team against certain defenses and certain other teams, you know. And there's a lot of times where Derek Carr did have to go shotgun under John Gruden's system. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. The problem is if you do shotgun versus play action, you got to like, you know, you're going to be faking the handoff, obviously. But the positive play action is like, you know, you can get defenses to like defend the run more and fake them out to where it can open up the pass. The downside to play action is like you go to hand the ball off and you turn around and you're getting sacked because their defensive ends or their defensive guys might be good enough to like, as soon as you do the play action fake, right, you're getting sacked or you got defensive guys in your face. And so in those instances, that's where usually you have to go to a shotgun game plan calling. And then, so the point is, if you're running a shotgun system, because that's what you have to do for some success, it's going to throw some of those numbers off. So, you know, but, you know, I'm curious if there's any facts to this. Okay. And shout out to Sanjay. He does actual facts. So like, I believe these numbers. I'm just curious what the Jared Stidham like numbers were for play action and whatnot. And like, I don't know, guys. I mean, if we take the percentages out for play action or whatever, and we're going to look at this of what Wi-Fi said, okay, and we look at it with some actual analytical thinking, here's the thing, right? Say let's look at the scenario where Josh McDaniels is purposely tanking to get rid of Derek Carr, bring in Tom Brady, okay? Let's look at that narrative. Let's say that's what's actually happening, and if that's a possibility. If that's what's actually happening, right? And Josh McDaniels is purposely trying to throw the game by bad play calling, okay? I'm not saying I believe this, but let's just say that's a possibility if we explore that option. If that's the case, then when Derek Carr is on the field and he throws in an interception, how is it Josh McDaniels' fault that Derek Carr purposely threw an interception? Was Josh McDaniels throwing the ball? So if we have that take, and we look at the poor production now, when the wide receivers are missing passes that should be catchable, that's on them. But when Derek Carr underthrows a guy, right? I'm a wide receiver. I'm going to do a route like this, right? The ball should be here, right? Because I'm running this way, okay? And the ball's back here, okay? Instead of right here, is that on Derek Carr or is that on Josh McDaniels? So even if that scenario was accurate, right? Even if Josh McDaniels was throwing the game, calling plays completely differently, this tinfoil hat theory, then when Derek Carr is on the field and the ball should be here and he's throwing the ball over here, how does that have anything to do with Josh McDaniels? How does that ball being thrown into the wrong spot on the field have absolutely nothing to do with Josh fucking McDaniels? Tell me. Somebody fucking tell me. Please, for the love of God, I'd appreciate it. Someone come in here and tell me how you can blame Josh McDaniels for a lack of fucking execution and that Josh McDaniels was tanking in a completely different playbook when Derek Carr was not putting the ball where it needed to be, when Derek Carr is missing a wide receiver, when Derek Carr is underthrowing a wide receiver. How is that Josh McDaniels' fucking problem? How is that Josh McDaniels' fault? Because the way I see it, you're smoking some crazy ass funky fucking shit, man. And you got to lay off that shit. Because you are having a take that's completely false based on an opinion by some clickbait shit. And there's no reality in it. You're living in fucking mushroom land, dude. La La Land. Straight up. You're so far out and gone on a narrative that has no actual facts. Because you can't blame Josh McDaniels for lack of execution when Derek Carr are throwing those balls. You just can't. And trust me, I've tried to explore that option. Well, maybe McDaniels is tanking. Dude, you can't excuse the lack of production from Derek Carr. And if you look at the other side, okay, well, the balls are being thrown because of the bad play calling, and it was a different playbook. We had this special playbook for Jarrett Stidham, which I don't believe at all. I don't believe that narrative at all. Well, Derek Carr still had opportunities to execute and make plays. Derek Carr still had opportunities to execute and make plays, and he didn't get it done. I don't care what fucking playbook he's playing with. You could break down every game, and you would see that there's going to be open wide receivers. You're going to see that there is opportunities for the quarterback to go out and produce plays and to get us a win. And it didn't happen. Sometimes that was on wide receivers not catching balls they should have caught. But some of that was, like I said, Derek Carr's always like a 0.25 to half a second late on his plays. And I'm not doing clickbait videos. Like, I bleed silver and black. I wear Raider gear. I'm giving back to Raider Nation. We're going to give a Devontae Adams jersey away. I've already given one away. Giving away gift cards and shit. I'm not using Raider Nation to make up these false fucking narratives to make money off of Raider Nation. And then you guys go out and you're repeating the same fucking mumbo jumbo la la land, you know, living on cloud nine. Lay off the funky shit. That's all I'm going to fucking say. Some of these fools, man, they be tripping, dude. You guys be tripping like hard. So again, this is why I try not to go there, because I don't want to get personal. But some people, like, you're going to be like, oh, well, you know, like this. Let's see what this one is. Most blown leads, we getting out coached in halftime adjustments. Part of that could be true, but part of that, like, your guys got to make plays. Even if Josh McDaniels was purposely tanking by calling a shitty fucking playbook, there's still opportunities for Derek Carr to change the play or to go out and make plays. Like that narrative pisses me off, because there's no self-accountability. There's no integrity in that statement, let alone there's maybe half truths in it, right? There's half truths in it. We're not looking at the whole body of work. We're not looking at the whole picture. We're looking at a narrow-minded view and finding something that fits our narrative. You know, it's like my clickbait audio I did of Derek Carr from years ago, where I purposely go in and I'm going to find like stuff to like fit my agenda. You know, I mean, anybody can do that, guys. Anybody can do that. But is there facts behind it? Is there facts behind it? Most blown leads? Derek Carr leads the NFL in interceptions. Derek Carr has like the third worst like quarterback rating. Like, hello? Hello? Is that coaching or is that Derek Carr? It's like you fuck up at your job, but you're not gonna take accountability for your fuck up, and you're gonna go and blame somebody else, and there's no accountability. That's the me society we live in right now, where nobody wants to have self-accountability. Nobody has integrity to be like, no, I need to do better. I need to do better, coach. I need to do better, boss. I'm going to go out, produce. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow. Everybody, it's all pass the buck, Chuck, passive aggressive. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get off here, guys. So I appreciate everybody, man. Make sure you guys subscribe. You know, a lot of my takes are raw. You know, sorry if it offended you or whatever and people's feelings, but the reality is, let's find some facts, some actual facts of what's really going on in this team. You know, Derek Carr, reality is, like I said in the beginning, he was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL starting 2017. Didn't produce 2017 or 2018. When you do that, that takes away from the talent you need on the team to help grow and develop the team, because you're not going to have enough cash to spend on the defense and the other areas. Just the facts of time and time again with NFL football. You're going to pay a guy like Patrick Mahomes $50 million or whatever, you ain't going to have the cash you need to go pay the rest of the guys you need to develop your team to get them to the next level. So if you want an elite team, you need a quarterback who's either good, average, or whatever, that's going to take a team-friendly deal and not be in that category of the higher tier ranks for getting paid that kind of money. You need that money to go get the other guys on your team, and you need to get a cheap quarterback. Otherwise, if you're going to pay a quarterback that kind of money, you better already have the pieces in place, and we haven't had the pieces in place the entire time. If Derek Carr wanted that, right, and we have that take, then Derek Carr should have taken a fucking pay cut in 2017 and not been the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It wasn't a pay cut, guys. It wasn't a team-friendly deal. It was only team-friendly to Derek Carr. Where's Wi-Fi Willie's hot take on that shit? So I don't fucking care. He can go fuck himself. And if you want to be dumb and have that fucking opinion too, then do whatever the fuck you're going to do. That's what I got to fucking say. They're going to like base something off of opinions with no actual facts because he's fucking making money off Raider Nation. Everybody else is dumb enough to fucking believe it. Then go on and finish being fucking dumb and stupid, dude. That's all I got to say. like live the rest of your life being the biggest fucking idiot because someone said something. It's like me telling you, dude, like birds don't fucking fly. And because I fucking did a clickbait video on it, you're going to go on Twitter and tell everybody birds don't fucking fly. Use your fucking brain. Be smarter than these motherfuckers. If they're making money off you off YouTube, think about it. There's a reason why this dude don't wear Raider gear. There's a reason why this dude ain't fucking, there's a reason why this dude has an NFL channel besides Raider channel. I'm hardcore Raider. Hardcore Raider. I don't give a fuck about the NFL or any other fucking team. I'm a Raider fan. I'm always going to be a Raider fan no matter who is or is not on this fucking team. And if you ain't a Raider fan, then go be a Patriot fan, kick rocks, figure out what the fuck you got to do. Because us in Raider Nation, we're going to keep bleeding silver and black till the fucking day I die. And if you don't bleed silver and black, go fucking be you. All right. That's all I got to fucking say. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm fucking hardcore Raider. And I'm out this motherfucker. There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation. Hardcore Raider out.
Equality. Or was his greatest accomplishment providing the NFL with a much-needed villain?
If there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players. We could get the greatest coaches. The great games we've played in. The flame that would burn brightest here is the will to win. Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You were magnificent.